Morning straight from the COVID front lines, as there are fears that Labor Day travel could lead to another spike in cases. More than 5.3 million travelers were screened by TSA officers over the holiday, even as the average daily death count from COVID jumped 130% over the last month. Now, that's the worst it's been since March, before the vaccines were widely available. Our lead national correspondent, that is David Begnaud, just visited a Texas hospital where staff are struggling, really struggling to keep up. David, good morning to you. This is so troubling.
It is, Gail. About a week ago, we told you the story of Daniel Wilkinson, the U.S. Army veteran who died in a Texas hospital last month. He died because he couldn't get access to the specialized care that he needed in time to save his life. All of the hospitals that could save him were full of COVID patients. So we went back to talk to that ER doctor that tried to save him, Dr. Hassan Kakli. And what we found was a caregiver furious and frustrated that he can't get people the care they need in the time they need it.
COVID is kicking humanity's ass. And as a member, as a team player on Team Humanity, I take that personally.
This is Dr. Hassan Kakli. He is in a race against time, but right now he is losing.
It's okay, Araceli.
His patient, 50-year-old Araceli, has been unresponsive since he admitted her to El Campo Memorial Hospital roughly 3 days ago.
It's okay.
She needs an ICU bed and an evaluation from a cancer specialist. El Campo has neither.
While this is happening in Texas, like, Glenn Greenwald is too busy fucking retweeting parody accounts who got duped, including myself, by that fucking ivermectin Rolling Stone article that, like, I also brought up on stream one time, where it was like fucking, you know, in Oklahoma, gunshot victims don't have enough room in the hospitals because they, like, you know, people that have been taking horse dewormer are taking up the emergency room space or something. And Glenn Greenwald has, like, literally been nonstop talking about that, like, nonstop, and saying, like, all of these soft left, edgy, like, anonymous accounts that actually are working with the DNC. That was fake. No. There are shortages of ICU capabilities in a lot of southern states. There's a lot of ICU bed shortages. I mean, this is a very real story, for example, of people who are dying of, like, preventable conditions because they just don't have, like, the you know, they don't have the fucking infrastructure, they don't have the beds. Part of the reason why they don't have the beds is because, you know, people that are taking horse dewormer instead of the fucking vaccine are, you know, taking up ICU beds. But it's not because of ivermectin poisoning. And here's Glenn Greenwald talking about this. So many of the pseudo-edgy soft-left accounts fell for the rural morons getting sick with ivermectin hoax because they're all just basically Rachel Maddow who curse a bit more and occasionally say mean things about Chuck Schumer on their way to voting for Democrats. I wouldn't say that the pandemic has revealed that so many liberals view rural non-liberals as stupid, primitive, immoral troglodytes, but the pandemic has made them much more open and explicit about what they think this is. So he's subtweeting me alongside everyone else. Doug Henwood retweeted this. Apparently, I don't know who that is. Garbage Ape retweeting. She Weave the Dog. QAnon Latifa, dumbest country in the universe / galaxy. And it's, like, so fucking stupid, dude. It's not like people are, like, it's not like this is the only story of people taking horse dewormer. You know what I mean? People unironically think that taking horse dewormer is going to save them because podcasters and other, like, critical thinkers that are going against the mainstream, of course, are telling them that this is a good thing that the media is hiding from them in the exact same condition, in the exact same situation that they did with hydroxychloroquine. And people are not getting the vaccine. They were not going to get vaccinated because they're vaccine hesitant to begin with, but, like, now they're definitely not getting the fucking vaccine. And Glenn Greenwald is more hyper focused on, like, dumbass fucking you know, anonymous accounts that apparently are now working at the behest of the DNC. And here's the reality, okay? I talk about this all the time. I wouldn't say that the pandemic has revealed that so many liberals view non-liberals as stupid, rural non-liberals. No. I'm a leftist, and I view conservatives as fucking stupid or evil, okay? It's one or the other. If you're conservative, it has nothing to do with you being rural. It has nothing to do with you being, you living in bumfuck nowhere, and everything to do with you being a conservative. Your worldview is horrible, okay? And it goes against everything I believe in, and it is not rooted within empathy. Sometimes both, yes. Why not both? Sometimes both, yes. Sometimes you're dumb and stupid. A lot of times, actually. You're dumb, stupid, and greedy and evil. So, like, doctors are fucking losing their minds. I have nurse friends and doctor friends that are lefties on the timeline, fucking literally like, I can't do this anymore. This is so bad. I'm losing my fucking mind. People are quitting. There's a shortage of nurses in California. I think there's like a 30% decrease of nurses or something in California. It's nuts. People are losing their fucking minds over having to treat people who are just killing themselves over and over again nonstop. Meanwhile, Glenn Greenwald is more so focused on this one fucking dumbass story. Wild to me. Wild to me. It's traumatizing healthcare professionals for understandable reasons. And meanwhile, like, these fucking idiots are still positioning themselves as, like, you know, being subversive because they're like pro horse dewormer, or they're saying that it's not actually horse dewormer, it's for humans too. Okay, dude. Motherfucker, so is ketamine. If you were taking ketamine if you were taking ketamine for you know, preventing COVID, I'd be also making fun of you. Okay? And I've said this before, and I will repeat it one more fucking time.
Gotcha.
Okay? If it comes out in the future that the horse dewormer for humans, ivermectin, for humans, is actually an effective treatment for COVID, then great. I'm not against it. Okay? I'm not fucking anti any medication. But as it stands currently, there is only research that shows that it's not helping. And the only piece of research that shows that it was helping was pulled because the data was false. It was falsified data, and all the fucking subsequent meta studies that involved that data point also showed that ivermectin is not good at treating COVID. It's almost like I don't care about the current data. And ultimately, people are making fun of the horse dewormer thing because people are taking the actual horse dewormer
25%.
from the feed stores because their doctors aren't prescribing ivermectin for them. So that's why people are making fun of this. Media liberals or herd animals whose primary skill is grazing together so tightly that it convinces them that they're all really smart when in fact they're just well-behaved herd animals. This is a good Robbie Sove reason.com, dude. Are you serious? Ugh, yikes. Libertarian person's dissection of how much the liberal corporate media, along with super edgy anonymous leftish irony accounts, fell for a total hoax on ivermectin. Hey, remember when Glenn Greenwald, like, which one was it? Remember when Glenn Greenwald was like, he fell for a fucking parody account because he was so fucking horny to like shit on SJWs that he literally fell for like a fucking SJW parody account that he took seriously. I tweeted about it. I just can't remember what it was. I wonder if anyone in the brain trust in here in the chat can find it. Or remember when he said, without any proof, that there was no one at the at January 6th insurrection that was actually on Parler, and then immediately he got disproven like over and over and over again, and the only proof he had for that reality was like some spokesperson's quote from literally Parler. Ivermectin may also sterilize dudes by affecting sperm production. Yeah, I don't know. It's one fucking study out of Nigeria, man. Like, don't jump the gun on this shit. Although it is ironic. It is ironic considering the fact that, you know, most of the ivermectin boys are pro ivermectin because of a singular fucking study that has already been falsified. So stop doing the same shit that they're doing. It wasn't just the Capitol. You know how many of the people arrested in connection with the Capitol invasion were active users of Parler? 0. The planning was largely done on Facebook. This is all a bullshit pretext for silencing competitors on ideological grounds, just the start. Including reviews of lots of documents, interviewing people associated with the companies involved, including Parler. The article will be up shortly. And then it came out that it was totally false. Like, it literally came out. There was a comprehensive study If you suspect someone has swallowed ivermectin, do not make the person vomit. Immediately check the web poison control online tool for help. Wait, really? But this isn't what I was talking about. Glenn Greenwald, it's at a certain point, literally fucking, he, at a certain point was like, he got duped by a fucking SJW account. I forget where it was. I tweeted about it when I was talking to him one time. Found a thread, and you and Jordan argue with Glenn in 2018. I've addressed this many times already today. If you're genuinely interested in my answer, as opposed to collecting applause, please read my timeline. I can't, or at least won't, stay on Twitter all day responding to the same misconceptions. So, well, if it's nice to have one of my journalist heroes dunk on me. Yeah, it was in this time. It was like during this week. He was hollering at one of those SJW parody accounts this morning for a troll take about men opening doors for women. Sometimes I'm not clear what he thinks he's doing on here. I wonder if we can find it. But yeah, he was like, showing they're willing and eager to cheer for COVID sickness and death has become extremely important from a clout perspective on this site. Exactly for that reason. It's hard to find ways at these days to show you're not a liberal. Yes, Glenn, I should instead chase clout and separate myself from the liberals by yelling about marginal, extremely woke SJWs like I'm a fucking 2014 Gamergate YouTuber and not one of the best investigative reporters on the fucking planet. What is this? If Biden wins, I can't wait to see the reaction of those on the left who got deluded into believing that they're junior partners in this coalition when they're the real coalition of power. Is actually their votes are no longer a reason. I think most progressives who claim they be junior partners are like the reasonable Republicans who wanted to save democracy and be the adult in the room to Trump. Some have honorable yet misguided goals. Most just want to write a book. But I'm agreeing with him on this. I'm not saying reasonable Republicans actually wanted to save democracy. I'm agreeing with what he's saying. The saddest thing about Glenn Greenwald is that, like, is he redeemable? He's like Kanye West, bro. Okay. If he puts out a fucking fire album, people will forget about it. And it's the same for me. Like, he's gonna come out one of these days, maybe he's not fully gone, and do like the same kind of like car wash investigation type beat. Okay, and it's gonna be his Donda, and people are gonna forget all about the MAGA face that he had. You know what I mean? Ironically, just like Kanye West, he's gonna do like, Donda was good, man. It was very good. It was good. Don't even say that. Kanye's a weird dude who has over a decade of good music. Glenn did like 2 fucking good stories and spent 80% of his career being a white nationalist apologist. Dude, you guys are insane, dude. Most journalists don't get one good fucking story, okay? You're insane. Like, showing the rest of the planet, like, America's insane surveillance apparatus is not just like one good story. When you say Donda was good when he kept shitting on it during Fantano's listening to him, yeah, I've listened to it a lot more. Anyway, I think you're coping. I get it, but now he's gone. I mean, he might be. He's probably gone. Let's be real. He probably is gone, but it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't erase the previous work he did. And ultimately, he might do good work in the future. Who knows? Probably not, though. I feel like he's too busy writing Substacks about fucking Chelsea Manning. Like leaking the private correspondences that they had via DMs over the course of like the past fucking 5 years, because they're upset that you know, they're upset that Chelsea Manning had the audacity to say like, Glenn, you fucking fell off plus ratio. I wonder if he'll ever, I mean, it's just so sad because it's like, it's so sad because he's like, you know, everyone who he once was like aligned with, that respected him, keep criticizing him and talking about how, like, you know, he fell off. And there are people like myself even that are saying like, dude, what the fuck? Why are you behaving like this? People that like genuinely loved him, you know what I mean? And he's like, nah, I fucking, I'm Substack Andy. Okay. I love the Substack. I love, like, you know, I guess doing like weird, like post-leftist type analyses and like only being skeptical of the Democratic Party and never extending that same kind of skepticism to the Republicans for some fucking weird reason. Why do you think he became this way? Honestly, guys, you want to know? He bought a house in Brazil, dude. That's why. Okay. You buy a house and shit changes. Okay. I think that's what happened. This motherfucker bought a compound in Brazil, and all of a sudden he's like doing Substack reactionary coverage. Yeah, there's a new story that came out of The Intercept. There's a couple stories that came out on The Intercept that is really interesting to me. One is about Dr. Antonio Fauci, I haven't really read it yet, but that I'm sure that'll be like blasted everywhere, coverage wise. That like basically talks about the same. Oh, Glenn deleted the SJW door holding tweet. I found people replying to it, but the tweets have been deleted. Did you see the David that was working with Cuomo thing? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Trudeau got rocks thrown at him yesterday. Okay. Let's just get started. I haven't fucking been able to watch this shit.
Despite being just 76 miles from Houston, home to the world's largest medical complex and more than 85 different hospitals, Dr. Cackley can't find one that will accept her as a transfer. Everyone is overwhelmed with COVID patients.
And I tried to get her into the best cancer hospital in the world, which is also in Houston, and they couldn't take her.
Dale.
Cackley told us the wait times here in the ER are unprecedented.
You would never see 4 digits on minutes since checked in. We're 4 digits on the thousands of minutes. We've never seen this, ever.
But Dr. Cackley understands what the other hospitals are facing. Here in El Campo, the beds are almost entirely filled with COVID patients too.
So 20 patients in the hospital, only 1 does not have COVID.
Wow.
That's how it's been. Past 3 weeks.
Wow.
Every day.
Tell him, Annie.
Every day.
Every day.
For nearly 4 days, he and his team have worked the phones. Nurse Virginia Broman called almost every hospital in Houston.
All righty. Thank you. Bye-bye. No, they don't have any beds.
While Dr. Cackley called MD Anderson Cancer Hospital, and he pressed them politely.
So at this point, it's kind of like, we need help. Like if she didn't have the malignancy and we had an open ICU bed, we would take care of her here.
Finally, he got it, a yes. They accepted Araceli.
I thought you'd be all jubilant and...
No, I'm not jubilant because it shouldn't take 4 days and 5 phone calls to make this happen. It's sad that like we're all relieved and happy that we finally got a patient out after 4 days. Like that's where the bar is right now. Like we got him out eventually. And kudos to the entire staff here, the other ER docs, the other staff that have been keeping this patient alive for as long as we have. If we get through this.
By the way, this has always been an issue in America, even like pre-COVID. You know what I mean? Rural hospitals have no way of like meeting the demand. It's another consequence of like having a for-profit healthcare system. Not to say that like in socialized medicine, rural hospitals don't actually fucking operate. This is not a rural one, but this issue does occur in rural hospitals regularly.
It's like the team that we have here is just going to be that much stronger if we get through this.
If we don't kill each other first.
Exactly. If we don't kill each other first, we'll be good.
It was one of the few times they laughed together that day. But the good feelings did not last for long. 5 COVID patients walked into the ER while we were there, and none of them were vaccinated.
One more question.
Yeah.
How are you?
How am I? I'm still going. I've had to accept the worst possible case scenario. This is the worst possible scenario. It's not going to get any better, but we're going to keep going.
Anyway, okay, let's watch Joe Rogan. It's time. Oh, the last thing I was going to say about Glenn Greenwald is the FDA, CDC, Kansas, Mississippi Departments of Health, etc. have had to issue statements warning against taking ivermectin. The National Poison Data System saw a 245% increase in calls about ivermectin over the past month. Might have something to do with why people believe the story. And not only that, but they're literally testing fucking ivermectin on prisoners. Like, this is the real Tuskegee syphilis experiment. They said they were vitamins. Inmates in Arkansas jail say they were unknowingly given ivermectin to treat COVID-19. Thank you, Azan's Femboy Main, for another 5 tier 1 gift subs. Like, this is the actual fucking Tuskegee syphilis experiment, okay? This is the actual fucking Nuremberg, not the other thing. Not like giving people tested vaccines that are proven to fucking eliminate some of the worst aspects of COVID. All you need to know is this. Rich people were fighting one another to get fucking the COVID vaccine before anybody else. One medical in San Francisco literally got fucking a government investigation launched on them because they were giving the COVID vaccine to wealthy people that were cutting the fucking line. Okay? And they're giving prisoners ivermectin. That's all you need to know. Here, I'm using like really reductive, really simplified, really dumb fucking takes. You really think that the secret medication is being offered to prisoners when rich people are fucking taking the vaccine? Dumbass. I mean, seriously. Are you that stupid? I've told you guys this before, by the way. Like, if you have black parents, if you're black and you have like, loved ones that are older and they have a lot of vaccine hesitancy for understandable reasons, considering that, considering the medical racism they might have faced their entire lives. One incredibly effective counter to that literally is rich white people took it before everyone else. Okay? Like, rich white people took it literally before anyone else, and they're giving the fucking prisoners the horse dewormer. Like, they cut in line to get the vaccine. You really think that they would, like, you really think that this is comparable to the Tuskegee syphilis experiment? Like, no. Anyway. So, just remind yourselves of that. That's like a pretty effective counter to the black older people in my fam aren't hesitant. It's the younger ones, kind of over the generalization. Okay, then tell the younger ones that. And it's not even like the black and brown communities that are hesitant overall. It's conservatives that are hesitant. A fact that I've talked about a million times over. I'm just saying that there are still people of every creed and every background that refuse to take the fucking vaccine. And one way to fucking talk to them is this. So why the fuck are you complaining? I'm not making that generalization at all. Shut the fuck up, dumbass chatter. Jesus Christ. How many times have I fucking talked about how it's conservatives that are leading the fucking pack with like vaccine hesitancy, not black people, in the same way that like others have tried to make that argument? It's still ignorance and it's still fear. I'm sorry. They're still victims of misinformation. Weird moment. California recall GOP frontrunner Larry Elder jokes at a campaign event. Say hello to the black face of white supremacy.
Gloria was the majority leader in the Senate when she was a state senator. It took a great deal of courage for her to cross the line and endorse me. You think I'm getting some heat, some pushback? Imagine what she's getting. So I want to say hello to Clovis. Clovis, say hello to the black face of white supremacy.
That's a weird self-report right there. I think what I told Larry Elder in the commercial break about, like, not doing white supremacy enough and being out white supremacist by Candace Owens and Jesse Lee Peterson is something that stuck with him a little bit. I live in a little town in Mexico. The only part of the family that hasn't vaxxed are the ones that live in the USA. Haven't you debated this guy before? Yeah. And expected him not to up the ante. What's the most amount of dicks you could suck to end racism? What? Dude, stop. Please stop. Just stop, dude. It's just, isn't that Sidewinder? Isn't that like fucking the famous Moon chatter or something? One that says dumb shit all the time. I'm trying to fucking go through the news, man. Please. Okay, let's get to Joe Rogan.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Well. If it isn't old horseworm Rogan.
I'm glad you're well, man.
Bro, do I have to sue CNN?
I don't know, do you?
They're making shit up. They keep saying I'm taking horse dewormer. I literally got it from a doctor. It's an American company.
Mm-hmm.
They won the Nobel Prize in 2015 for you.
Remember how I said he was going to bring up the Nobel Prize?
Larry Elder's high point.
There you go. Okay, pre-watch Andy. I know. Just get it out. Get it out. Let's keep going.
Human beings.
Yeah.
And CNN is saying I'm taking horse dewormer.
Yeah. What? So
they must know that that's a lie.
Well, there's a lot of people saying it.
He's gonna say, I already mentioned this earlier. Okay, but he's gonna say, he's also most likely going to bring up that I threw the kitchen sink at it, and they hyper focused on one part because they're all fucking biased. Okay, it's not the fucking horse dewormer, as he already said. It's the human version of it. And lastly, that I'm taking it seriously. Like they get mad at me when they say I'm not taking COVID seriously when I say young people shouldn't get vaccinated. And then they get mad at me when I take it seriously and I take everything I possibly could.
Right, but a lot of people can say it.
Okay.
Like the internet says it, who cares?
Sure.
But CNN is saying it. Like Jim Acosta.
I meant like USA Today, a few other
yeah,
places,
and they're talking about ivermectin, right?
Yeah.
So what? Because I don't know. I just saw so much news about you. I mean, I would talk to you and check on you and see if you're all right. And you're like, you threw the kitchen.
Homie took monoclonal antibodies. Okay. Like, I wonder if he'll bring that up in here. aside from just like arguing against the fact that he took horse dewormer.
Think at it, you said,
Yeah.
which was stuff that, you know, you took IV drips and what was it?
Monoclonal antibodies.
And that, what is monoclonal antibodies?
It's the shit they gave Trump.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what? So who said, or did you already want ivermectin? Like,
Well, I had this guy on, Dr. Pierre Corey, and he is, what is the organization he's from? Frontline COVID Critical Care Workers.
Dude, he literally, oh my God, I didn't know he had that fucking frontline medical doctors people on. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? So he didn't even get it from a legitimate doctor. He got it from like a bunch of fucking charlatan doctors that were responsible for the fucking hydroxychloroquine shit.
He's well-established doctors treated.
Oh, dude, totally, dude. Totally.
Damn frown.
Frontline medicine doctors is totally well established, dude. Hey, you guys remember when the fucking America's frontline doctors?
Yo.
Remember when they fucking came out in front of the fucking steps here and were like, you guys are suppressing the truth about hydroxychloroquine? And then their main person, who's not here for some reason, who spoke at this event was Dr. Stella Emanuel, aka Demon Semen, aka Holy Ghost send the power, Holy Ghost send the fire. That's great, man. I'm glad that he's getting his info from, you know, legitimate doctors.
Thousands of people with COVID, and they've early on in the pandemic they found some good efficacy with ivermectin. Frontline 19 Critical Care Alliance.
okay.
Yeah. So I had him on, and
It's a different organization that made the current protocol for treatment in hospitals. They've gone off the rails and had a lot of doctors quit further into the pandemic. You mean the plandemic, brother? The FLCCC, they push ivermectin. These pages contain the scientific rationale that justifies the use of ivermectin in COVID-19. Oh my fucking God, dude. Okay, so it's not the same group of doctors. I'm sorry. Are these the guys that created the falsified? No, it wasn't the falsified study, but yeah, I hate this one, dude. I don't want to. This guy is like the epidemiologist, but he's like, he gets so fucking into the numbers that like I can't. It hurts my brain. But the FLCCC got their fucking study pulled. Frontiers removes controversial ivermectin paper. Wait, this was theirs? Editors of Frontiers in Pharmacology have taken down the article from the Frontline COVID-19 Critical Care Alliance. Oh, shit. Okay. There you go. It's not nitty gritty. It's just like, I know my limitations. And like when they get into the fucking numbers, it's like too hard. Yeah. Okay. So it was them. Okay. These are the guys. All right. So here's the fucking nitty and the gritty. Joe Rogan is talking about a group of doctors that now have had like one of the famous studies on the efficacy of ivermectin in treating COVID pulled from Frontiers before the publication, pre-publication, and of course the abstract had already been viewed by 85,000 times. That doesn't matter because like people suck this stuff up. There's like websites designed specifically to like pull any sort of ivermectin study that's favorable for ivermectin. If you go to like any of these fucking websites, they are working round the fucking clock. Okay, they're working overtime trying to like push ivermectin. Once again, these kinds of bad studies, these kinds of faulty data ridden studies are unscientific and actually harm real scientific research. By the way, what is incredibly frustrating is like, even if ivermectin had the capability of like helping people, when you put falsified data, when you knowingly and willingly falsify data in a study in an effort to push this miracle cure in the form of ivermectin, you ultimately end up, you know, devaluing the actual research that might come out. I've done this literal thing. Allah Liker posted, as you guys know, I've done it like so many times on this broadcast. Hydroxychloroquine versus ivermectin versus critical race theory. This is always how they do this. They just like fucking find a new thing to grasp onto, and that's how you show how subversive you are. People like my dad don't have the medical or technological literacy to tell the difference between a radical group of quack doctors and thousands of professionals across the world that are unanimously agreeing on the same thing. Well, even when they hear it, even when they hear the unanimous agreement, they say, well, there's a, conspiracy. There's a widespread fucking conspiracy that is causing doctors to fucking feed you this instead of anything else. So that's the other problem. Okay? But even when they're challenged, or when they're faced with like the doctors they once believed were fucking grifters, or that there is a consensus on this, or there's not enough studies at least, and that the FDA is against the use of ivermectin for COVID relief, and the fucking pharmaceutical corporation Merck that is responsible for the human version of ivermectin is urging people not to take it for COVID because there's not enough data available to show that it's effective at treating people with COVID. Okay, it doesn't matter because this causes them to only dig deeper. Okay. It causes people to only dig deeper into their fucking delusions, and as they did with hydroxychloroquine, as they are now doing with ivermectin.
He had talked to me about it. He's not the only doctor that told me to take it. Multiple doctors told me to take it.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to have what is the exact thing it's supposed to do? There's something that I highlighted. And this is obviously, I'm not a doctor. It says ivermectin was found to be a blocker of viral replicase, REPLICASE protease.
Why are you doing this? Bro, if you can't fucking read, then don't even try. You know what I mean? I'm the same way, by the way. I'm a fucking idiot, dude. The difference between me and Joe Rogan is that we both recognize that we're fucking brain dead morons, okay? And that this goes, but only one of us recognizes that, like, talking about this sort of thing goes beyond our scope of understanding and comprehension. We are fucking outmatched, okay? So I would rather listen to the combined information that's available to me, including the overwhelming majority of experts that have studied this, like pharmacologists, rather than a random fucking friend of mine who was in academia at some point, who has aligned themselves with like another fucking quack doctor that goes against the grain and that goes against like the multitude of scientific research available that currently, as it stands, does not show that ivermectin is a good or efficient treatment method for COVID. That's the difference, okay? Like, 98% of doctors have gotten the vaccine. 2% of doctors have not. If you're literally going to find the 2% of doctors and having them on your broadcast over and over again, you're a fucking asshole. At a certain point, you got to realize, like, you are literally a merchant of misinformation. You are spreading vaccine hesitancy. You're hurting public health measures that people are trying to take. You're being a fucking idiot.
And I don't know what this word is. Human TMPRSS2. I don't know. But what they didn't highlight is that I got better.
Yeah, you got better quickly.
They try to make it seem as if like I'm doing some wacky shit that's completely ineffective. And
right.
CNN was saying that I'm a distributor of misinformation. Also, that was the other thing that happened. In Tokyo, in Japan, which is apparently they're very conservative about the medication that they use and the medications that they endorse. But the Tokyo Medical Association chairman held a live press conference recommending ivermectin to all doctors for all COVID patients.
So what's going on with it's kind of hard to figure out what's the truth in a lot of things. But with regard to this, people go, it's insane to take ivermectin. Like, you see it everywhere. Everyone's like, this is wild. Don't take this shit.
It is. It is insane to take horse dewormer, which is what a lot of these people are fucking taking. Okay? Because doctors are not prescribing the ivermectin to them. Okay? So they're going to fucking feed stores and literally getting the horse dewormer. What the fuck? It is actually insane. It is beyond parody. And the most hilarious part about this is like, why are you making fun of the rural conservative folks? Why are you dehumanizing them and calling them hogs for taking hog medicine instead of the regular free to fucking get vaccine that the government is fucking distributing to every single person that wants to take it? Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about with the Tokyo thing, by the way. What is that? Oh, that Japan has not endorsed. Oh, this is like another one. Japan has not endorsed ivermectin as a COVID-19 treatment. Social media posts suggest that Japan's government recommends using anti-parasitic drug ivermectin to treat COVID-19, citing remarks by the chairman of the Tokyo Medical Association. This is misleading. While he cautiously supported the treatment, the association does not represent the country's government, which has not endorsed ivermectin for that use. So once again, Joe Rogan is going after like another fucking singular group of doctors that have decided that ivermectin is actually the fucking poggers treatment. Online articles also say ivermectin was approved as a COVID-19 treatment in Japan. These claims are circulating online during a spike in health problems caused by ingesting veterinary ivermectin in the mistaken belief that it will protect them against COVID-19 or treat the deadly disease. Neither Tokyo Medical Association nor Ozaki are affiliated with the Japanese government, and members of the organization can only provide recommendations. We can do other studies to confirm its efficacy, but we are in a crisis situation with regards to the use of ivermectin. It is obviously necessary to obtain the informed consent of the patients, and I think we're in a situation where we can afford to give them this treatment, Ozaki adds. Today I learned that ivermectin apparently sterilizes the majority, 85% of men that take it. Big Pharma playing 4D chess. No, dude. Listen, guys. Everyone is doing this. Stop doing the thing. It's one fucking study out of Nigeria that it's like you're doing the same thing that people who are like looking at one fucking study with regards to like ivermectin being an efficient fucking COVID relief drug, and you're doing the exact other side of that from a liberal point of view where you think like, oh, everyone's gonna get fucking sterilized. 85% of people that take ivermectin are not gonna be sterilized. How the fuck is this any different than like you think like these dumbasses thinking that everyone that got the vaccine are gonna die? Stop. Don't be fucking delusional, man. Efforts to grow to stamp out use of parasite drug ivermectin for COVID-19. Washington, health experts and groups are pushing to stamp out the growing use of decades-old parasite drug to treat COVID-19, warning that it could cause harmful side effects. And there's little evidence that it helps. There it is, dude. But that's the American Medical Association. Guess what, dude? They don't know. They're lying to you. This one doctor in Japan is telling you the truth, brother. Shut the fuck up. 8 weeks or more only showed slight fertility disruptions from the study. Yeah, it's like... Honest question, not to sound like a dick, but why not let Darwinism play itself out? Because there's Chatter's parents who are like literally on the verge of fucking death, dude. Okay? There's a Chatter who just donated saying his parents are like in the fucking ICU and they're about to die. That sucks. Okay? They're victims of misinformation ultimately. So I attack the sources of information like Joe Rogan and all these other people, but like I do also feel a little bit weird about like, you know, finding, that's why I don't look at the Herman Cain Awards subreddit. Because like there are randoms, like not cops, not fucking public officials, not like Republican commentators that die. When they die, it's fair game. I make fun of them nonstop. But I do also sometimes feel bad if it's like someone fucking dying after, you know, after not taking the vaccine. But the biggest problem with like the let these people die narrative is that they're not dying alone. Okay? Like, even if we forget, like, the Chatter's parents who are on the verge of death, okay? You have to also remember that, like, when they're fucking dying, that's a long-ass process, bro. That is a fucking sometimes month-long process where they're taking up already exhausted resources away from other people that need the ICU beds or like a fucking gallbladder explosion or some shit. You know what I mean? They're taking up the ICUs. So they don't just fucking end up dying. They end up killing others.
Shit. And then you have the head of the fucking Tokyo, whatever, medical commission saying, take ivermectin.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. You know, there's a lot of speculation.
Yeah, well, you should just stop right there. But like, I don't know what's going on. But it's not just that. Joe Rogan doesn't know what's going on. But then he also continues to spread misinformation, and he even debated a fucking doctor who does know what's going on.
One of the speculations involves the emergency use authorization for the vaccines. That in order for there to be an emergency use authorization, there has to be no treatment for a disease.
Right.
So because there is this treatment in ivermectin, and there's other treatments too.
Right.
Because of this, there's a lot of pushback against potential treatments and pretending that they don't really work or that they're conspiracy theories. This is the grand conspiracy, right? The grand conspiracy is the pharmaceutical companies are all in cahoots to try to make anybody who takes this stuff look crazy. But what's crazy is look how better I got.
Yeah.
I got better pretty quick, bitch.
Let's go to like your whole.
Bro, you literally, dude, you're such a fucking idiot. It's an anecdote, okay? This is an anecdote, you fucking idiot. Oh my God, this is, dude, it literally should be illegal for Joe Rogan to talk about these sort of things. I swear to God. Bro, even if you just took ivermectin and you survived, that's still not, that still doesn't mean that you survived because of the ivermectin. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. You're a singular person. That's as idiotic. That is no different and just as idiotic as saying, I got COVID and I didn't take shit and I wasn't vaccinated and I survived, so you can too. Okay? It's the exact same mentality. Jesus fucking Christ. Also, what Joe fails to mention here for some fucking weird reason is that he also got monoclonal antibodies, okay? A treatment that, at the very least, has been declared by authorities to be a potentially efficient recovery method. Okay? He mentioned it in the beginning, I know, but he's like now saying it's the ivermectin that he's implying that it's the ivermectin that he took that got him better.
I got COVID. I drank bleach. I survived. AKA bleach cures COVID. Yep.
Experience. Yeah. So you get back from a trip, right? And is it that night? Do you arrive home and know, or like on your way home, you're like, I don't feel so great?
Well, Saturday, here's what happened. Friday night, we went out and got hammered. Went out and played pool till 3:30 in the morning. Had a bunch of drinks. Had a bunch of drinks at the show. At the show, I think I had 2 drinks, and then I had like 4 afterwards. So we're pretty lit. Yeah. And it was 3:30 in the morning. Exhausted. Plane travel. You know, flew that day from. I guess so. Fort Lauderdale was the first show. Then that was Tampa, and then last show was Orlando. That night I was worn out. Friday night, you know, because it's 3:30 in the morning, and I was like, oh, I gotta crash. And then I woke up in the morning, and I was definitely hungover, but I was also just feeling a little out of it, just a little, just not good. It's hard to describe. If I had COVID, it was just like beginning stages, but I thought it was a hangover.
Right, which kind of confuses the way how you can read it. So
drank a lot of water, ate, took a bunch of vitamins, went to sleep, got up for the show, felt good. No drinks that night. And then that night we flew back. And so just feeling worn out, you know, pretty normal, but worn out. And then when I got home, I was like, man, something just feels off. So I told my wife, you know, you should probably...
You literally said a week ago that he would do exactly this, praise ivermectin and completely gloss over the monoclonal antibodies. Yeah. And he's doing that, of course.
Keep away from me. Let me isolate. Luckily, we have a big house. I isolated. And in the middle of the night, I was sweating. You know, I would get fevers, and I wasn't feeling good.
And you knew it then?
I woke up in the morning, I knew it. By the time in the morning, I was like, something's going on. Let's see what it is. It was 90 whatever % sure it was COVID. So, morning I got tested. Turned out positive, and then just...
And this is Sunday?
Sunday.
So Sunday you find out you're positive, and then... That day, you feel sick, right? You're just in bed, relaxed.
Yeah, that day, headache, sick, weak.
Do you immediately? This is what I hadn't asked you yet. Did you have a plan in place in your head for like if I get COVID, I would do these? So So when you find out you're positive, you start reaching out for these treatments.
Yeah, I already had it in place.
You did.
Yeah, I was already ready to go.
So and then you start taking them that day.
Yeah, I got it. I got all the stuff that I needed, took it that day, and then Monday I felt pretty fucking good. And I was taking vitamin IV drips every day, high dose of vitamin C, vitamin D, and NAD as well.
My concern when I spoke to you was just, will you please fucking rest? That's what I texted you. I was like, no hill runs, no fucking kettlebells, and don't wrestle any fucking cattle today. Just rest. And
did.
You're like, I'm going to rest. I'm going to rest.
I rested.
I know.
I did. I rested.
I know.
did.
I think
I didn't do shit but watch TV. I actually enjoyed the first couple days because I
Yeah.
was like, this is a nice, like a legit, solid excuse where I don't have to do anything.
Yes.
Which never comes up.
Right. That was like when the pandemic started back in March last year, where it was like, no, you have to cancel your dates. And I was like, all right, it'll be like a nice week off. like this. Sure.
2 weeks to slow the spread.
Yeah, let's fucking chill out.
Yeah. So, but you know, after I did this and I hit it with the NAD and the high dose vitamin C, I think it was 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C in the IV drip, which is like it's very effective. It goes right into your bloodstream, right?
Yeah.
After that and the monoclonal antibodies and all the other stuff, literally on Monday I felt pretty fucking good.
So that's pretty fast.
It's rather suspicious that while he was saying like, oh man, if you're just like healthy, like you can just take an L with the COVID stuff, and yet he had like an entire medical process designed to quickly recover from COVID, like that he had actually planned and wanted to make sure that he could get healthy quickly. I thought it was just like you could just like take it on the chin, you know? That's so strange. That's so fucking strange to me, dude. What I also find rather suspicious once again is that, like, you know, we're not talking about the monoclonal antibodies and only talking about vitamin C and ivermectin and shit. It's such fucking bullshit, man. He took 110 times the recommended daily dose of vitamin C. I think, I don't know if that's like, I don't know what kind of harmful effects that has, by the way, Chatter. I think you just piss it out, right? Don't you literally pee out all the extra vitamins that your body can't process? Might get diarrhea, you know?
Pretty fast. Yeah.
Mine, when I got COVID, I was in like the hospital recovering from surgery.
Right.
And I thought it was the opioid withdrawals, of which they told me, they're like, you're going to feel like shit when you get off of these.
Like the flu, right?
Yeah, it's exactly. They said you're going to get emotional and you're going to feel terrible. And I was like, okay. And I got off of them like on a Saturday. I stopped taking them after like 2 weeks. And then on Monday, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, I had PT and OT back to back. And afterwards, I was like, man, I feel terrible.
What is OT?
Occupational therapy.
What's the difference?
Like above the waist is kind of the way they tell you. Like PT's below the waist, OT's above the waist.
Oh.
So they were treating my knee for PT, and then the OT was like the arm and hand stuff. And I did them back to back, like, and they're hour each. And I'm all fucked up. So they're like, yeah, of course you're tired and shit. Like, take a nap. I slept for like 3 hours. And they're like, God damn. And here's the thing. No, it occurred to nobody that I had COVID. The next day, I'm like, I have diarrhea. My shoulders, like my traps, neck, were so achy. I was like, oh. And they're like, yeah, he's just fucking worn out from the therapy and getting off of the opiates and everything. And then the next day, a little better, but still shitty. And the third day, I was like, I feel better, you know. And the fourth day, I was like, I feel fine. So that was kind of like my window. And it was the fourth day where they were like, do you want to take a COVID test? I was like, for what? They're like, oh, for when you felt like shit 3 days ago? And I go, yeah, okay. And so I took the COVID test. And my favorite is that they're like, do you want same day results? And I go, yeah. And they go, it's expensive. And I go, this fucking hospital stay is expensive. What are you talking about? Like,
right.
This is thousands of dollars a day. You think I don't want to spend $100 more to find out today? So I said, yeah, let's do same day. And then they tested. And at the end of the day, I go, where's my result? And they're like, we don't know. So the next day I'm going home, and it's a Saturday, and they're taking me home. And I was like, hey, whatever happened to my fucking COVID test? And now I feel like totally fine. And they go, I don't know. I'm going to call the lady that took the test. And I was like, what the fuck? It's so crazy. So I get home.
Hospitals, dude. I mean, it's so fucking bad, dude. NA healthcare is like such dog shit. I'm sorry.
I watch a movie with my kids.
Oh, no.
And the email goes ding. And I open it and it says positive. That's how I found out.
So you're fucking super protected.
Yeah.
Because, because they showed, there was a study that showed that if you've had a previous COVID infection, you're 6 to 13 times more protected than you are with just a Pfizer.
Yeah,
What? That's literally not true. What? Bro, does he just like read? Wait, I feel like Joe Rogan only exclusively reads false information about COVID. Like right now, at this point, what he's doing is like honestly impressive. Okay? I don't understand. 30% of people infected with COVID don't create antibodies. Listen. If he means like once you get COVID or once you already have the fucking vaccine and then you get COVID, there is I believe there's information on it that says that you have additional protection on top of everything else. But I feel like at this point, he's wrong. He means one Pfizer shot probably, and secondly, once again, I feel like in order to misrepresent this level of like false information, in order to misrepresent all this data, he has to be like looking for it. Previous COVID prevents Delta infection better than the Pfizer shot. People who recover from a bout of COVID. What happens when you don't have a fucking when you don't develop the antibodies though? Like this is looking at a singular fucking study is still terrifying. Okay. Instagram post missing context about Israeli study on COVID natural immunity. Oh my God. It's always the same shit. Isn't this true though? Immunity is as good as vaccines. My country doesn't vaccinate immune people. Okay. Getting COVID, unfortunately, with all of the new fucking variants, getting COVID and surviving it still gives you antibodies for certain people, not always, unfortunately. Okay. The big risk there is that what if you don't fucking survive? People who have already had COVID will be less likely to catch the Delta vaccinated. An Instagram post highlighted the headline about a non-peer-reviewed study from Israel that found unvaccinated people previously infected with SARS-CoV-2 had a greater immunity against the Delta variant than never infected people fully vaccinated with the Pfizer-BioNTech's COVID vaccine. But the social media post omitted the study's other findings that one dose of the vaccine enhanced protection for the infection survivors. According to his authors, the study conducted in Israel demonstrated that natural immunity from a prior infection with SARS-CoV-2 provided longer-lasting and stronger protection against the highly transmissible Delta variant than the vaccine-induced immunity from 2 doses. Some social media users are highlighting the findings, which are far from conclusive. This is why I was yelling about the fucking one ivermectin study that says that like 85% of the men that took ivermectin got infertility. Okay, jumping on a fucking non-peer-reviewed singular fucking study to advocate your own to your already existing preconceived biases is fucking terrifying. And unfortunately, this is just what we're doing now. The Texas Truther Instagram account, for example, posted a screen capture of a Gateway Pundit headline. New Israeli study finds fully vaccinated people are greater risk of hospitalization and 13 times more likely to catch COVID-19 than those who have recovered and have natural immunity. What was not mentioned in the Instagram post, which received more than 4,600 likes on the platform, is that the study found even greater immunity against the Delta variant for people who get a single shot of the Pfizer and had an infection with the novel coronavirus that causes 19. Yeah, that is the highest percentage. How can I get a COVID-19 vaccination card? No. If you already had COVID-19 and recovered, do I still need the vaccination? Yes, you should be vaccinated regardless of whether you had COVID-19 because research has not yet shown how long you are protected from getting COVID-19 again. Vaccination helps protect you even if you already had COVID-19. Evidence is emerging that people get better protection by being fully vaccinated compared to having COVID-19. One study showed that unvaccinated people who already had COVID-19 are more than 2 times likely. Cash App, thank you for the 69 gifted subs. Then unvaccinated people who already had COVID-19, then fully vaccinated people to get COVID-19 again. If you were treated for COVID-19 with monoclonal antibodies and convalescent plasma, you should wait 90 days before getting a COVID-19 vaccine. Talk to your doctor if you're unsure what treatments you received or if you have more questions about getting a COVID-19 vaccine. I'm stupid and nothing makes sense anymore. Is the claim that the vaccinated are more vulnerable true or bullshit? Vaccinated are not more vulnerable to COVID, man. What the fuck? Are you stupid? No, of course they're not. If you got COVID and you got vaccinated, you are the most protected. Okay? According to one study that is not peer-reviewed, according to one study, and there has to be at least more studies on this so we can truly figure it out. If you got COVID, you can have more protection. That one study found that if you got COVID, you have more protection than someone who has gotten both the Pfizer shots. It's a non-peer-reviewed study, though. It is incredibly irresponsible to jump on these sorts of fucking singular one-off studies. Also, if you die, you don't get taken into the pool of people making antibodies and living. Exactly.
Hope you all had a great Labor Day.
It's so fucking stupid. There's been previous studies shows that vaccines offer better protection than natural immunity, but for some reason, those studies don't get the same attention. Yeah, there have been more studies conducted that show that vaccines provide better immunity than those who naturally got COVID and survived. The issue is how many antibodies you produce wildly changes. Okay? It's inconsistent. The antibodies that your body develops is inconsistent. The time period for how long your body will maintain those antibodies is also inconsistent. So you're still rolling the dice on nature rather than fucking science. Thank you, Azan's Femboy Made, for the 20 gifted subs. I love hogs like to claim the vaccine isn't safe because there isn't enough research on it, but they will absolutely believe in one inconclusive, non-reviewed study done in just a few months.
You know, I gave up the argument. I was arguing with my cousin, who's an ID doctor.
What's an ID doctor?
Infectious disease doctor. So this is what she treats. And she's in the hospitals, you know, every day. And she was like, when the Delta variant came out, she was like, this thing is no joke. She's like, this is all I'm seeing. You have to get vaxxed, especially if you're going on tour. I was like, well, what about, and whatever. I was like, fine, I'll just go.
Yeah. Thank God, dude. Thank God. Imagine being Tom fucking Segura, by the way, and like arguing with an infectious disease doctor. I love that. I fucking love that, dude. It's like, what do you know? You have no qualifications. Why are you arguing with someone who's literally treating all these people?
Yeah. Well, it didn't bother you.
Yeah, it didn't bother me.
I'm still doing that. Like I'll still hawk up little green shit.
Yeah.
Here and there.
You're what, a week out?
A week yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that long.
But it doesn't feel bad.
Yeah,
like,
and you were
I
able
had a
to- you
great
exercised,
workout
you were
today.
The only time you should fucking argue with your hog relatives that are like doctors,
OnlyFans
they're like
win.
fucking chiropractors or some shit, is if they are going against the previously available medical research and the data that is available and the consensus that like scientists have already reached on the matter thus far by analyzing the readily available research, the many different studies that have been conducted on this. Okay?
Today?
Yeah, I had a great workout today.
listen,
Felt great.
this gets to
That's
you,
my
but thanks
second
for being
workout.
so
I
consistent
had
in the
one
takes you
workout
give.
2 days,
I've
3 days
been
ago,
watching
3 days
since
ago.
you started
You didn't have a
FGYT,
qualification too,
but I
but still
used to
argue about
hate you.
antibodies and
Love
such.
you, do
I
you?
don't have a
Hope I get to meet you
qualification.
someday.
I'm not arguing against the consensus reached by epidemiologists, pharmacologists, and other medical experts that are qualified. I am arguing against idiots that are going against the consensus reached by pharmacologists, epidemiologists, and researchers that are looking at this. I'm not the one conducting the studies. I'm simply telling you what
Let's
the
just
fucking
forget
interpretation
everything
of
said
those
and
studies
everything we be
are,
best friends and better
rather
halves.
than hyper-focusing on one singular fucking study that goes against the grain, because I'm not some fucking idiot who thinks that being a free thinker means you always have to be fucking contrarian.
Then took yesterday off and then worked out again today.
Yeah.
No problem at all. Just feel completely normal.
Great.
Yeah.
And your breathing's fine.
Yeah, except the hocking up
hocking
little.
up, yeah.
But they're little ones.
How
little
crazy is
green
you,
things.
or maybe you're immune to it now from having so much public scrutiny, but like having people
radicalized
wish you
reality
got sicker.
TV does
Isn't that crazy to
I
you?
didn't pay attention.
Inshallah.
It's crazy to me. I mean, I've had people, you know, wish harm on me and threaten me and tell me they wish I was dead and all this stuff. But
Fun.
yeah, you're like, cool, man. Thanks for watching the special. But it's like when you're sick,
Yeah.
people are like, I wish you were more sick.
Well, the good
God
news is I was
damn.
only sick for a day.
That's true. Yeah. It's just wild that there's people, they're like, I wish you were more sick. I wish.
Yeah, well,
the belief that it's some conspiracy when the overall consensus of doctors is what you're saying. How much would these super rich world owners have to pay to get everybody to lie? It's not even
Thanks
that.
for the great content.
I mean, it is that. People think that there is like this broad fucking conspiracy theory that like doctors are conspiring against everybody. Of course, those people shut the fuck up real quick when they're like, please put a fucking vent inside of me. I'm gonna die. Please, doctor. They're fucking pissing and shitting themselves, crying in the fucking hospital beds, begging for those very same doctors to literally, treat them, even though there is this like massive conspiracy apparently. So fuck those people. Okay, so that's one. Suddenly they believe in the fucking science all of a sudden when they're, when push comes to shove and you're literally coughing out your fucking lungs, you have pneumonia, you can't walk without medical assistance, you can't breathe without a fucking machine literally pumping oxygen into your veins. I bet Joe panicked when he realized, oh fuck, what was I saying? I forgot. Oh yeah, this notion that like there's an international conspiracy among doctors is so fucking laughable. Okay, that like are led by rich people. What are the motivations? Explain to me what the motivations are. Why would they want to fucking kill all the soy sheeple? Soy sheeple are easier to fucking... Why would they want to kill people to begin with? But soy sheeple are the ones who are fucking easy to control. Why would they want the free thinkers, brother, who go against the grain, who don't listen to the fucking authorities? They listen to their own heart and souls and their libertarian ideology. Why would they want all those fucking dipshits to survive? And lastly, there is an actual conspiracy, okay? Yes, medical experts and capital owners are conspiring to get you vaccinated. Why? So we can get over this fucking pandemic. Why? So you can go back to fucking work and keep consuming at the normal levels that we were prior to the pandemic. That's the reason why everyone is like, get the fucking vaccine, dumbass. Why would they want to murder you when your fucking stupid hog ass is but a cog in the machine? Okay? But it's still a valuable cog in the machine. You have to work. You have to slave away every goddamn day.
I wish you were in the hospital.
Because I wasn't scared during the entire pandemic, what they would like is that when I did get sick, that I was really sick
and you
then
learned your
became
lesson.
really scared and learned my lesson.
Yeah,
and instead, it's the worst case scenario for them.
Right.
I bounced back about as
In a
quick
day.
as you fucking can.
Yeah.
They did it to black people with syphilis. Dude, shut the fuck up. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, you absolute fucking idiot. They're literally giving black prisoners ivermectin while rich white motherfuckers were cutting the goddamn line to get the COVID vaccine. It is exactly the opposite, okay? If you are using this as an argument to be an anti-vaxxer, you have to literally recognize that what is going on right now with the Tuskegee syphilis experiment is similar to the ivermectin treatment, which is not fucking tested. Or rather, tested and not proven to be effective. You stupid baboon-brained idiot. Go ahead, dude. No, I agree with you, though. Oh, okay, never mind. Fuck, I'm sorry.
They're haters.
Yeah.
But that's their life. You
That's
got to live
just
like
some
that. Imagine spending
M&L
any
bullshit.
time whatsoever wishing that a person felt bad.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
the dumbest fucking thing
It's
you could ever
insane.
spend your energy on.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work. You can't.
No.
It doesn't make people feel worse.
You're like, God, I wish so hard. He's okay. So crazy.
I'd heard that was going on, but I didn't pay attention to it. It's like, they're weak bitches.
Yeah.
You stay salty.
Yeah. We're doing all right.
Everything's fine.
Did I do that?
I'm doing
You
pretty
were.
good. But meanwhile, I don't have a bad message. My message is be healthy. And obviously, there's some merit to that. And
As he smokes a cigar while he's recovering from COVID. What a beautiful picture, dude. It literally does not get better than this,
14
dude. This is the
months, let's go, I
photo.
love
This
you,
is like
all
the
has.
perfect fucking... You're capturing the best 5 seconds of this interview, okay? My message is be healthy.
and merit to being consistently
16
healthy.
months hassle.
Here's a message. The thing that fucked me is drinking. I think that really fucked me.
Yeah.
I bet if I went home early, went to the hotel early Friday night, and got sleep like I normally do, I bet it would have never got me.
You think so?
Yeah, I was hammered. We were out playing pool till, like I said, 3:30 in the morning. And I love playing pool, so
Yeah.
I'll play pool till I'm fucking exhausted.
Oh my God. I went on a trip with you once. Dude. It was like stand up, to pool.
Yeah, there's also the mathematical formula that shows why large-scale conspiracies are quickly exposed. There is also that too. Like it is physically impossible to keep a secret that is so vast, so large that like hundreds of thousands of people are working side by side to maintain that secret. That's why a lot of these like larger fucking conspiracy theories are very quickly disproven.
To the whole next day. Like you're like, I didn't go to bed. You got back at like 9 a.m. and then we went out to breakfast. And I was like, what are you talking about? You're fine. I was like, no way, dude.
Well, you know, that message is not a good message.
No.
The up all night message and the drinking message is that, yeah, my messages don't do that. And it is stupid. And I haven't had a drink since.
You aren't supposed to inhale the cigar, Bozo. Shut up.
Watch the entire.
Oh, Steven Crowder is back. Thank God. I mean, I was really worried about him. Let's see what he had to say about the vaccines.
It's a really scary, it really is a scary time. And this is something that we obviously could not say on YouTube, what I'm about to say, but I will say this. And this is entirely just, I'm letting you know, just like Rachel Maddow, just like Don Lemon, just like Chris Cuomo, I am not a doctor, okay?
Right.
And I have been doing my best to follow the science. If you go and look at the sources that we provide, we are all trying to follow the science. And there does seem to be a strong case to be made. And I have spoken with epidemiologists, and I have spoken with virologists, and we've had some on this show, that the vaccine could have created the perfect scenario for the Delta variant to emerge.
And
because think about it, when you think of how viruses mutate, right? Well, first off, viruses typically mutate to, historically, either become more transmissible, more communicable, or more deadly. They don't typically evolve to do both. And generally, it will favor being more communicable because it's not in the best interest of a virus to kill off all of its hosts.
Correct.
And so you couldn't, and people can say because people didn't get vaccinated, there always was going to be a gap of time before we got to the magic number that keeps moving of herd immunity that they talk about. At that point, a virus, obviously the one that would be favored and would spread, would be the virus that could bypass whatever type of preventative measure, namely the vaccine, which we now know doesn't fully protect against the Delta variant. That we could say on YouTube. We couldn't keep this in mind too. We wouldn't be able to say this 2 weeks ago.
No, of course not.
But now because Israel is treating you as unvaccinated until your third booster shot, and because Fauci has said, all right, okay, people who are vaccinated are still getting the Delta variant, we may have created the perfect breeding ground for the Delta variant. Been doing my best.
Dude, I don't even know what to say to this, because it's like, dude, you don't have any qualifications. You're just like talking out of your fucking ass, dude.
To follow the science. If you go and look at the sources that we provide, we are all trying to follow the science. And there does seem to be a strong case to be made. And I have spoken with epidemiologists, and I have spoken with virologists, and we've had some.
I mean, this is literally the same energy as like Alex Jones being like, I got the documents, brother.
On this show, that the vaccine
Hasanabi
could have created the perfect scenario for the Delta variant to emerge.
And
because think about it, when you think of how viruses mutate, right? Well, first off, viruses typically mutate to, historically, either become more transmissible, more communicable, or more deadly.
Wait, this is the argument I hear from anti-vaxxers all the time, that like it's the vaccines that caused the variant. And it's like, you realize that, like, no, the vaccine mutates, okay? It mutates in unvaccinated people. Like, or the vaccine, sorry, a fucking virus. I'm saying vaccine. My brain is slop, sorry. The virus mutates in unvaccinated people. It came out of India, which did not have enough vaccinated people at all. The virus mutated because there weren't fucking enough vaccinated people in India.
They don't typically evolve to do both. And generally, it will favor being more communicable because it's not in the best interest of a virus to kill off all of its hosts.
Correct.
And so you couldn't, and people can say because people didn't get vaccinated, there always was going to be a gap of time before we got to the magic number that keeps moving of herd immunity that they talk about. At that point.
Yes, because the R0 keeps changing. Because the viral load delivery of different variants vary. Of course, that's how the... Dude, does this guy think that, like, there is a singular number for every kind of fucking disease? Where it's like, oh yeah, it's the 80%, is across the board. It's like, no, dude. Different viral load bearing viruses have different levels of exponential growth and require a different percentage rather of vaccinated people to maintain or reach herd immunity.
Point, a virus, obviously the one that would be favored and would spread, would be the virus that could bypass whatever type of preventative measure, namely the vaccine, which we now know doesn't fully protect against the Delta variant. That we could say on YouTube. We couldn't keep this in mind too. We wouldn't be able to say this 2 weeks ago.
No, of course not.
But now, because
literally not true. 2 weeks ago, I had videos, plenty of videos talking about how the Delta variant was more powerful than the previous variant that the vaccine was created for. He's just lying about every part of this, dude.
Because Israel is treating you as unvaccinated until your third booster shot, and because Fauci has said, all right, okay, people who are vaccinated are still getting the Delta variant, we may have created the perfect breeding ground for the Delta variant to spread. Then you get a booster, that could create the breeding ground for another variant to spread.
Yeah, it's the vaccine boosters and the vaccines themselves that are creating more viruses in the unvaccinated population. That's crazy that the vaccines themselves are creating different variants in the unvaccinated population. That's so wild, dude. How is that happening? Is there vaccine shedding or whatever the fuck these people believe in?
And then you could get another booster. The point is, there is an argument to be made that the way we went about this actually encouraged the spread of the Delta variant.
Yeah, it didn't kill it. It didn't kill the virus. And
it's not the Wu variant, it's the Mu variant, MU, and it's in 49 states. Delta variant is more transmissible. That doesn't matter. That doesn't mean it's more lethal in context to an individual. The moving of the goalposts and the dumbass rhetoric by Hogs is so fucking tiring. Like, you should never take this person seriously. Why? Because he was also saying that COVID wasn't that big of a fucking deal and that the doctors were lying about the number of COVID fatalities. What happened? We've moved on from that. We moved the goalpost to something different. Okay, COVID is kind of deadly. It's not it's people are, still blowing it out of proportion, but it is kind of deadly. But it's actually the vaccines that made it even more deadly.
First, though, inmates at the Washington County Jail are being treated for COVID-19 with a drug that's not FDA approved to treat the virus. Thanks for joining us for your 5 News at 6. I'm Erica Thomas.
And I'm Darren Bobb. 5 News reporter Catherine Gilkert.
My man's name is Darren Bobb.
Tells us why this drug is being prescribed and what the Arkansas Department of Health has to say about it.
The medication ivermectin is being given to inmates here at the Washington County Jail who test positive for COVID-19. The medication is FDA approved, but for things like head lice and rosacea, not COVID-19. Sheriff Tim Helder says he was made aware yesterday that this medication was being prescribed here at the jail. Since the beginning of the pandemic, 531 inmates have tested positive for COVID-19 at the Washington County Jail. Since the end of June, 166 cases of those have been suspected cases of the Delta variant. Karras Correctional Health has been treating patients at the jail for 6 years, and Dr. Rob Karras says in October of 2020 is when he started prescribing ivermectin for high-risk patients along with other
ivermectin. Oh, bless her heart, dude. I love local news.
Medications and supplements like vitamin C, D, zinc, and doxycycline. He says ivermectin is very safe to use to treat COVID-19, but ivermectin is also a parasitic drug commonly used for livestock. It can also be prescribed by a doctor in very specific doses to treat parasites, but is not approved by the FDA to treat or prevent COVID-19 in humans. Justice of the Peace Eva Madison spoke up at a quorum court meeting last night after learning from the sheriff the drug was being prescribed to inmates.
I've had COVID twice. I've taken ivermectin. I've given it to my mom before she...
Wait, I'm so confused. This guy had COVID twice. What the fuck? I thought when you got COVID, it's one and done. You know what I mean? It's like you have the antibodies. That's crazy. I bet he's also probably fucking gotten vaccinated too. Turns out it's not 100%.
She got vaccinated. She was on it preventatively. My stepmom, my in-laws, my sister, my sister's kids, thousands of patients we've treated with it. We have not experienced any. We have not seen any bad side effects from it.
Most of those people that are down there are pre-trial, innocent until proven guilty, and their only option for COVID treatment is to go to this doctor who's going to give them medication that the FDA says not to give them. they don't have the luxury of getting a second opinion. And then Washington County's tax dollars are being used to pay for this. It's just really appalling.
The sheriff didn't have any more to say about the use of this medication and referred me to Dr. Karras. I'm live in Fayetteville, covering news where you live. Catherine Gilker, 5 News.
Rare conservative W, Lauren Chen. Get out of here with that bullshit. Vaccines are safe and people who can't be vaccinated depend on people who get them for herd immunity. The science is settled. This is a public health matter, and the misinformation out there on vaccines is disgusting. Yeah, except is she an anti-vaxxer now? No shot is she not an anti-vaxxer now. It's from 2018, I know. New Taliban meme just dropped. Level of meme war happening here is simply unprecedented. My roads look like this, so the Taliban can look like this. Oh my god. Bro, they keep making fun of us, dude. That's the Taliban guy who posts like all the 4chan memes. I fucking hate this, dude. It's like I really don't. I don't appreciate the fucking made with memetic type fucking dumbass memes that the Taliban is posting right now. First they won the people's war against the imperialist force that they purged from the country. Okay? Then they won the war against women. Okay? Bros only. And now they're winning the fucking posting wars, dude. This is literally emotional jihad. It is. This one's even better. What is this one? Your culture is racist, sexist, homophobic, anti-Semitic, and a threat to our liberal democracy? Yes. You literally treat women like property? Yes. We finished making dinner, Habibi. This is insane, dude. Oh, Lauren Chen. Untested on pregnant women, unknown long-term side effects. This is a brand new vaccine, no shot. Wait, she's not even pregnant. I'm not pregnant just yet, guys, but hopefully soon. Basil's becoming a real Marvel villain? Yeah, he's allegedly poaching scientists from all over the world to figure out how to reverse the aging process. I saw that. Did you hear that a Proud Boy got shot in Olympia at a mass mandate protest? No actual blood in the video. Yeah, I don't care. Oh, here. Unemployment benefits are expiring for over 7.5 million Americans. Hey, guys, happy Labor Day weekend. We're get back to work. Here it is.
Night unemployment benefits are over for 7.5 million Americans. Another million will see their weekly checks cut by $300. It comes as hiring slowed in August, likely due to the surge of the Delta variant. Brooke Whitford delivered groceries when the pandemic started. She scaled back her hours over COVID concerns and a drop in wages. She's been on unemployment since April of last year.
Knowing that this date was coming up, what's that been like for you?
Stressful. The one word I can say, stressful. Put me in kind of a slump, kind of a depression.
Whitford says she's applied for over 150 jobs in the last few months, but so far, no offers.
I don't meet the criteria, or they've already hired somebody.
For every 8 people who lost their unemployment benefits in June, only 1 found a new job. Reasons include the lack of childcare and the growing mismatch between the jobs available and people looking for work.
We've never cut off benefits for this many people all in one fell swoop. Unemployment comes fast, but finding a job can often take a lot of time.
But with a record 10 million jobs now available, many business owners like Joseph Termini hope the end of benefits helps them find much needed workers. The bakery owner has already
what a cheery way of describing cutting off funds from people that were using said funds to survive. Like, oh, this will help the business owners find workers. It's like the other side of that is literally like we are starving out the working class because we can't get business owners to increase their wages. Okay? That's basically what this entire process has been about since the beginning. And I've said this a million times over, folks. I said this when we eradicated poverty for like a month during the pandemic, if you guys remember, because we pumped everybody with funds. The unemployment insurance on top of it, the $300 a week on top of it was really fucking good. It was better than most countries on the planet. It was a one time that the American welfare state actually dished out goddamn welfare. Okay? For the first time ever. America did something that other social democracies do regularly for a brief moment during this pandemic. Okay? Cutting UI has not led to filling positions or at least a growth in earnings at all.
Unemployment
In the 26 states that cut unemployment insurance ahead of time at the behest of the Chamber of Commerce, we didn't actually see an increase in earnings. Okay? The increases in jobs filled have been marginal in comparison to states that have not cut unemployment insurance, the additional benefits that we're talking about. So this was all for nothing. And even then, the horrifying reality is that capital owners literally openly stated their disdain for the working class for the past year. How many times did I talk about this where they kept saying, yo, cut this shit out, cut this shit out. You need to starve them like hungry dogs for them to come crawling back to the job availabilities that we have for them because we refuse to increase the wages or create a better work environment or offer better benefits.
Already begun to see more applicants.
I wouldn't call it a flood. I would say it was more of a trickle. But yes, we did see an uptick in people that were interested.
Tom, nearly $800 billion was spent on federal pandemic unemployment. People use that money for rent, medication, food. Now what we're watching for is how long will it take for people to get jobs? How will they get by without that money? And how will that impact consumer spending?
Great. Where are they? Restaurant owners blast Dem silence amid staffing shortages. Where are they? Where are the Democrats? I thought these guys hated government interference. They only like government interference when it benefits the fucking capital owners, huh? I mean, listen. The government always interferes. There's no such thing as like a truly free market. It's the same concept as like unicorns, okay? It doesn't exist in reality. There has never been a singular market that is devoid of even a fraction of government interference, okay? Yes. The Easter Bunny, unicorn, Santa Claus, these are things that are total fabrications, much like the free market that is truly free. So it's not the government interference that they fucking hate. It's that the government is interfering against their interest, which happens to be on the interest of the working class, because there was a bearded man 200 fucking years ago that very adequately described the inherent contradiction amongst the two competing classes that are diametrically opposed with respect to their takeaways and their interests under a capitalist organization of the economy. There is no better representation of this theory than what you are seeing before you, with business owners who are capital owners freaking the absolute fuck out and saying, cut the fucking faucet, okay? Turn the faucet off. Stop giving them money. Stop giving them money. They literally have too much money and can survive, so they don't want to come back to these fucking shitty work conditions that we are offering them.
Okay, but
it created conditions that had to have happened organically if there was actually a supply and demand curve that existed for a tight labor market for the past fucking 10 years. We had near full employment at a certain point before COVID. And yet, for some reason, we never got, for some weird reason, we never fucking reached the benefits of a tight labor market, like an increase in wages. For non-NA, what's the minimum wage? $7.25 an hour. It's not that people do not want to work. It's that people do not want to work the shit jobs that we offer to everyone for shit pay. Exactly. Now, there is another contradiction in the way that this market works. And that is, and I talked about this already, that is that we are primarily a consumer base. That is our most important function. Okay? In the United States of America, we are consumers first and foremost. We're not a productive nation anymore. We are no longer a producer. We are a consumer. We have a fat fucking market that everyone needs to take advantage of, that everyone wants to sell products to. And that's precisely why I said they were, even in the beginning, before the unemployment insurance was offered to people, and before like all the benefits came in, I said that there was going to be benefits because otherwise you would be fucking, causing even further economic chaos. And guess what? When the unemployment state benefits expired, look at that. Our fucking spending also fell off a cliff. Earnings are still relatively stable, and yet unemployment benefits are pee-pee-poofing, and so is spending. So what these fucking dumbasses are doing so that they can win over, so that they can get back to a situation where there are starving, poor, working-class individuals, is cucking themselves. What you are advocating for is basically a poorer consumer base that will no longer be able to purchase your products. I just want to point to something else here too, and that is this. Let's take a look at how many people have COVID right now in the United States of America as of today. Currently, there are 39 million total cases reported. The prior 7-day average was 146,000. The current 7-day average is 153,000. These are, of course, reported cases. Now I want to look at the fucking data tracker from last year. Right now, we are getting around like 200,000 new cases to 40,000 new cases. So the average is like around 150,000 new cases a week. Okay? Now I want to see what it looked like. I want to see what it looked like, last year. Okay? 150K a day, not a week. Sorry. On average, 150K a day. Sorry. Let's see where we were at on this graph last year. This is September. 7-day average is 132,000. Okay.
Thank you for the radicalization.
Oh, wow. On this same exact day in 2020, our 7-day average was 40,000. 40,000 people were getting COVID. That's interesting. Kind of seems like there are significantly more new cases. Now, let's look at the death number. The 7-day average death number has climbed back to 1,385 in comparison to the 1,000 that was back in September 5th, 2020. Now, let me tell you something, folks. There is one major difference here. Now, you might be thinking, what the fuck's going on, brother? 3 times the number of cases and yet the same level of deaths? That's interesting. I wonder if there is a separate factor here that is playing a role in stopping people from dying of COVID, despite the fact that, like, right now, this pandemic is ripping through this fucking country. That's right. It's ivermectin. Apple-flavored ivermectin, folks. You got it right, baby. That's right. It's the goddamn apple-flavored horse dewormer that I've been spreading on my motherfucking toes, baby. Every goddamn day. Yep. Yeah, brother. It's that ivermectin. Easy to swallow. Kind of tastes like dog shit, but hey, you know what? They make it easy for me to swallow. If you don't want me taking ivermectin, horse dewormer, then why did you make it delicious? And why'd you put a fucking cool-looking horse on it? You know what I'm saying? On the fucking paste. Plandemic, baby. Racist. Yep, that's me. I'm racist against the white folk who want to take ivermectin. I'm racist against conservatives. Literally, the apples that tempted Adam. It's pretty good. Them's that biblical symbolism that my favorite Dr. Jordan Peterson talks about regularly. So yeah, we're cutting unemployment. We're cutting UI. It has not been effective in like getting people to go back to work. The eviction moratorium is ending. Except for places like California, by the way. Shouts out to Gavin Newsom. Gotta hand it to the fucking libtard states. We're continuing the eviction moratorium here. And New York, too. Friend of the show, Gavin Newsom. And that's what we got ahead of ourselves here. That's what we are working with. React to the #1 leading scientist in America, Joe Rogan's COVID experience he uploaded today. I already did. Thanks for having Brace Belden and Liz Franzik on your podcast. I'm not a huge fan of their content. Yeah, they're wonderful. I love them. Have you talked about Texas's new voting restrictions yet? Sorry, just got here not long ago. No, not yet. Wonderful situation we're in, folks.
9 million people are set to lose federal unemployment benefits today as COVID safety net programs expire. This, as the latest job report reveals, the U.S. added just 235,000 jobs last month, and more than 42,000 food service industry jobs were lost. Our next guest knows the struggle firsthand. Back in May, Jason Kramer, the owner of Do-Wop Drive-In, told us Biden's plan to fix the economy and pay people to stay home was backfiring. Watch.
It's kind of simple. You give too many people too much money, free money to sit around and do nothing, and it's backfiring. I can't even seat a good third of my restaurant because I don't have enough employees. I would love to hire new people. There's nobody coming in the doors.
That man, Jason Kramer, joins us now with an update. Jason, so you were very vocal the last time we had you on the show. The question is, has anything changed?
No, actually,
I mean, yeah, he still has the same dog shit microphone, bro. Buy a better microphone, dumbass.
It got worse, and thanks for having me back.
Decided to take my
we struggled all summer long.
Sister. No more meat prime sub for you.
And I feel bad for every restaurant owner, bar owner. It's just bad. You try to hold your emotions in and say, well, what's the problem? We all knew what the problem was. I've got friends that are closing restaurants up this week, 8-9 weeks ahead of schedule for our season because it is a seasonal.
The Do-Wop Drive-In, I think this business should go under. I'm sorry, dude. If your business is called a Do-Wop Drive-In and you're like you're going off the rockabilly aesthetic, I think your business should fucking your business should be driven to the ground. Sorry.
Town, and don't get me wrong, we would love to stay open year round, but when you have to close because you can't physically do 8 positions yourself or 9 positions or more, where do you cut your losses at? They weren't. I'm sorry, Lawrence. Go ahead.
No, brother. I hear the emotion. You put everything that you have in this business.
What a fucking idiot, dude. Yeah, I hear the emotion in your words. Yeah, he's not emotional. He's emotional because he's literally saying, like, I can't enslave these fucking poors, okay? I can't threaten them to come back to work. Please, government man. Please, please, can you... This is why fascists align with the fucking liberal business owners, okay? This is why business owners ultimately always come on the side of fascism. If you think these motherfuckers would not 100% without a doubt want the government to, if push came to shove, forcibly fucking make sure that these people work at gunpoint, you're out of your mind. Okay? These small business owners would love the government to just like forcibly fucking push them into work with direct threats of violence. Because what they're doing right now is trying to get the government to increase the dial of struggle a little bit, okay? To cut the faucet of the unemployment insurance so that, you know, they don't have to increase their wages because they always know, like, listen, we could just wait this out. It's a war of attrition, baby. We can wait this out. The government's ultimately going to side with us, the business owners, rather than the fucking workforce, as always, as they've historically done. So obviously, we could just like sit this out and cry and complain on TV to ask the government man to stop giving so much money to the poor so I don't have to fucking make competitive wages. Okay? Those very same people, 1,000%, I have no doubt in my mind, would be totally open to direct violence or the direct threat or the threat of direct violence by the government. Just like they are currently advocating, or rather agitating, for the indirect violence, the structural violence of poverty. That is what they are asking for. Every time you see a business owner who says, I am begging, nay, demanding the government to stop giving $300 extra in unemployment insurance, stop fucking, you know, allowing people to live off welfare, they're basically saying, I mean, not basically saying, they're literally just saying, we want you to fucking starve so that you have no other option but to come back to work for us.
You open during the middle of the pandemic and you lay it all out there and you can't even...
One of my favorite parts about this, sorry, I'm pausing again, but one of my favorite parts about this is whenever business owners are like, I have to be washing the dishes and also flipping the burgers. And it's like, oh yeah? Wait, I'm sorry. Is that like a shitty job? Do you now recognize that like your line cooks are providing a fuckload of value to your business? And as a matter of fact, that you would not be able to do anything without them? That's crazy, man. I didn't realize. I thought you took the risk, dude. I thought you assumed the risk, and that's why you deserve all of the fucking profits. But as the old labor union motto goes, there is no value without labor. So when there's no labor, there's no value. There's no surplus value to exploit. There's no profits. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Even get a return on your investment because the government is blocking you.
You know, and that's the issue. It wasn't. No, don't get me wrong. Here's the thing that people get mistaken because of what we stand for. We're okay for giving people assistance that need it. This was way too much money for way too long. Now that our season's ending for the entire coast of New Jersey, we think people are just going to line up outside your door. I'm ready to work now. Hire me. No, I don't think so. That's not how it's going to work. The issue is the money that was given out.
Dude, I would never, no matter what my circumstances are, if my boss fucking went on Fox News to cry like this and showed the disdain that he has for workers in this hypothetical scenario where I'm living in fucking New Jersey and one of the only available job openings is at the Doo-Wop drive-in, I'm never working for this guy. No shot, dude. Like, what a piece of shit, dude. Have some fucking, have some self-respect, have some decency, and be a little bit more humble. Like, you're fucking flipping the burgers yourself. You've already recognized that job is not easy. That's why you're fucking crying. Because never forget, you don't die when your business fails because you couldn't hire enough employees. Okay? You don't die. You don't go to prison when your business fails. You are relegated back to the working class, which you have so much disdain for. And that is the real fear. That's why when you hear this motherfucker talk, like, the fear of God in his eyes is, oh God, oh my God, I don't want to become a worker again. Because I know what bosses like myself do to workers, and I would rather fucking die and embarrass myself every fucking day in front of the camera and beg the government to, like, starve out the workers than to become a worker myself. Classic champagne socialist take. Yep.
Very thankful.
It's fucking true. I love champagne socialism, baby. All the way. I'm rich, motherfucker. Come in here. Talk shit. Go ahead. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. No, just defend your fucking bosses in here in my chat. That seems smart. Like, so fucking stupid, dude. I love that. I love that, dude. Yo, you got a deed to the factory, dude? Why are you defending the capital owners so hard, huh? If you come in here and defend your bosses and you're a silly wage cuck, you need to show me the deed to the factory. Imagine being a capitalist without having capital, dude. What a fucking idiot. What an absolute idiot you are. Thank you, Brian Goodman, 2,000 for the 5 gifted subs.
For help, not to stay home and do nothing. I couldn't even get people to walk in the door to even explain to them, listen, I'm willing to compromise and give you a living wage, give you a working wage, not just minimum wage, but I wasn't even given the opportunity to help people get jobs. Now, what about the people that busted their butts all year long for every restaurant owner and every position that was available? They burnt the candle at both ends. My kids were so tired of working before they went back to school and took off for the season that they were exhausted. What about those people that actually stuck by everybody to get the restaurants to work? Now that you have so many places closing up, what liberal in this and especially in this?
Dude, he's like on the verge of tears. Dude, you are such a bad boss, dude. I'm sorry. You're a fucking awful boss, dude. He's literally he's on the verge of tears. He's like that kid who has social anxiety on the fucking flag debate. You guys remember that video we were watching, the SME flag debate, where the kid is like, I think that we should be extra racist because the American flag is racist too, and we should rock the Confederate flag too, and not listen to black people and their demands. He's like crying. He's like, what if I have to give a little bit more of my profits back to the workers? I'm willing to compromise, dude. Maybe you're a fucking asshole and nobody wants to work with you. You're a gigantic fucking asshole.
What about those people that actually stuck by everybody to get the restaurants to work? Now that you have so many places closing up, what what liberal in this, and especially in this state, did the math on sales tax and employment tax that the state missed out on because nothing was being served or you couldn't get food out? It actually was just mind-boggling of why this couldn't get accomplished. And then you talk about the inflation rate. Yeah. I've got products that are tenfold the price that used to be last year and the year before.
My guy forced his kid to work this summer, probably didn't even pay them. Oh yeah, for sure. Dude, he is so fucking, he's on the verge of tears, dude. It's so funny. Wait, how was this guy on the verge of crying? What the fuck are your focus? I mean, do you not see him, dude? This guy crying about the people that stuck through, won't mention how shitty the treatment they just had to go through. It's why they want out. Yeah. Also, I love that he's talking about the state not getting enough taxes and sales tax. Like, maybe that's a statewide problem, dude. Don't worry about it. You don't have to care about the coffers of the state. It doesn't seem like you give a shit anyway, okay? Especially when you're literally begging the state to stop this unemployment insurance nonsense so they can starve out the working class enough that, like, you don't have to increase your wages. We should interview the employees. First of all, employees that are still working there are probably not going to be open about it unless they're, like, literally about to quit their jobs. Secondly, it's Fox News. You think they give a fuck about the employees? New York Times barely cares about the fucking employees' perspective, dude. I've only seen a handful of fucking New York Times articles that actually cover the employees. You know what I mean? Like, Fox News is never going to do that. They don't exist. They only exist as B-roll in the eyes of Fox News. Or if they can find one, like, shitty bootlicker who will be like, oh my God, I love working here for my boss man.
How is that possible to increase products so far that we can't even touch it right now? I can't even get in minor things because they cost too much money. It's a trickle effect, and it's just dialed down to us so bad that.
Hey man, it seems like you just made a bad investment. What happened? Like, I thought people were allowed to make bad investments. I thought the free market destroys your fucking bad investment, and then you learn from that lesson and you make a good investment next time. Like, I don't understand it, dude. I don't understand.
I have only sat maybe 50% of the restaurant all year long. It wasn't about, it is strictly about capitalism. I took the risk. I put my life on the line.
Okay, and now you're asking for a fucking handout, dude.
I put everything, I worked hard, but I was.
And once again, I got to repeat myself. It's not like you're going to die. You're just going to be a worker again, but you don't want that. Because every other boss is exactly like you fucking piece of shit. And that's precisely why you don't want to fucking do that. You never want to go back there. You'd rather die. You'd rather embarrass yourself and go on Fox News and cry about your fucking business non-stop. That's right, baby. That's fucking right. Hey, you took the risk. There you go. The risk is supposed to have rewards, which you have obviously benefited from plenty. But then there's also supposed to be the negative side of that. You take a risk. It's not a risk if the government babies you throughout the entire process.
Willing to even share my wealth, the minimum that we were making with the employees, but I couldn't get people even in the door. How is that even?
One sandwich, please. Thank you for the 20 gifted subs.
I took the risk, Keck.
I shared my wealth with the employees. Like, dude, that's called giving them a wage so they can fucking continue producing for you, so that you can continue exploiting them by taking away their surplus labor value. That's what that fucking is, but that's kind of weird.
Impossible. You have all these statistics saying, well, all these millions of people want jobs. Where are they at? Where were they? And it's not just me. I took my kids out to dinner last night before school, so we got a nice dinner celebration. Yeah. There were so many notes all around the hostess stand. Pardon our appearance or short staffed. We can't sit here right now.
Jason,
we have to sit in the back.
You are the voice of every single business owner.
Yeah, and he's right, but of course, not a good voice. Okay, I'm sorry. Is there a single person that works a fucking 9 to 5 in here that works for a boss exactly like this one, that looks at this guy and goes, "Oh man, what about the fucking poor business owners?" I'm sure you guys have parents that are like this dude. I'm sure, like, some of you probably have parents that are like this dude. That's why you can, they fund your neat lifestyle. The more with the champagne socials comment? Yeah, probably.
Landlord, you are speaking for the people of America.
Lord, I'm channeling them through me.
Yeah.
It is so bad that it is just absolutely, this administration is not middle class friendly.
I don't know, man. It seems like you're spending a lot of time on television whining like a little baby. Perhaps you should, I don't know, find your fucking bootstraps, you ugly bitch, and pick yourself up by those bootstraps and get the fuck back to work. Go flip some fucking burgers, bitch boy. Come on. Come on. Chop chop. Make me some fucking burgers right now at the Doo-Wop Drive-In. What are you doing? You fucking out here crying on national television? There's a lot of burgers that are not being flipped right now. Sorry. Go make my fucking burgers. Ah, bro, and the billionaire bankrupt head-ass administration was a middle-class family. This guy's on crack. My employer took proper precaution, minimized layoffs, and treated us like human beings. Everyone's still happy to work here. I wonder why, lol. The irony is, like, in America, you don't really need to do this, but, like, the most effective way of, like, preventing unionization is literally by fucking offering such great workplace conditions to your workers unconditionally that, like, they never even feel like they need it, and they always need it regardless. They always need it regardless. But, like,
hassle.
That's how you fucking stop people from wanting to unionize at all. That you don't make them feel like they're, you know, that anything is being stolen from them. But he can't do that. So all he's out here doing is just fucking crying, begging the government to fucking cut the benefits. Please. So true. Honda did that in the U.S. Great benefits kept unions out to this day. There's no way this guy didn't have a massive investment from mommy and daddy. Probably. Or worse. In a lot of instances, they were workers themselves and they got fucking exploited out the ass. They were able to put together like a crumb of capital to be able to start a business. And now they're like also fucking over the other workers. Like it's a never ending cycle of violence. Once you get to a certain point and you are now a part of the petite bourgeoisie, you've been able to own a small business. You just return the fucking cruelty back to the workers themselves that you yourself experienced, while simultaneously the fear of becoming a worker once again is what motivates you to be as brutal and as cruel as you humanly can be. LMAO, the owner and his wife are converts to Catholicism and claim to be an LGBTQ friendly establishment. Unions prove that capitalists can't not exploit workers. I mean,
8 months, bro.
That's a, excuse me? Excuse me. I'm coming through. You're so cute.
it's literally bioterrorism, dude. What the fuck?
She's coughing on me. She's coughing on me. No, yes. Look at you guys.
If that person like actually has COVID and they gave someone's mom COVID, like I hope she goes to jail. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, you have a right to defend yourself against that kind of behavior. I'm just letting you guys know. It's like actually bioterrorism and assault.
Okay, whatever. You're such sheep. Why don't you have a mask on? Because I don't need to have one on. I'm not sick, and neither are you. Okay, but you don't have to keep coughing at me. You don't know who's sick or not. It's my allergies. You don't know who's sick or not by looking at somebody. Yeah. And so 2 years ago, before anybody started talking about COVID, you were okay with that, though, going out not knowing you.
Dude, why is that an argument, dude? Why are you that fucking stupid? I mean, yes, the answer is yes. They are that stupid. I don't understand how that's an argument. Yes, before a fucking pandemic of this deadly goddamn disease that has killed 666,000 Americans so far existed, yes, we were dumb enough not to realize that masks are pretty good if you're fucking sick. Because unlike the like Asian countries, we were just too fucking stupid and lazy and selfish not to know that like when you're sick, you should have a mask regardless.
We're sick, right? You don't know anything about my health. I don't. Yeah, she's coughing on me. I have my allergies, and she got all freaked out because I'm coughing. No, she's coughing. How do you know? You don't know, and she just said I don't know anything about her health. You don't know.
I think your take on owners being cruel for that reason is incorrect. People aren't mean because they're afraid to be a worker again. Okay, why are they mean then? 27-month subscriber. Why are they mean?
Know anything about my health. I actually,
Why are they
maybe
mean?
I have a medical
everybody.
release. I don't need to wear a mask.
Okay, bye.
Why don't you have a mask on? Because I don't need to have one on. I'm not sick, and neither are you. You don't know what's sick or not. I have allergies. I have allergies. Oh, yeah. And so 2 years ago, before anybody started talking.
I was laid off in the beginning of COVID-19 almost 1.5 years ago. Although not due to budget cuts, but a reformation of the organization. I live in Sweden, and I'm a member of a union. I have additional insurance that I pay for about $35 a month. They helped me by paying $1.5K after taxes. And after 7 months, I found a job within my field, and that is well paid. So happy that I live in a Nordic country with our values. Son of a bitch. Imagine fucking flexing, dude, that you live in a normal, sane country. I'm kidding. I'm proud of you, Chatter. But it also does make me feel some type of way sometimes.
Yeah, anniversary
Why force a rape or incest victim to carry a pregnancy to term?
It doesn't require that at all because obviously it provides at least 6 weeks for a person to be able to get an abortion. And so for one.
How would you know, motherfucker? Who have you fucked? You don't know that. Also, nobody knows when they're pregnant at 6 weeks, you fucking idiot. The only people that do know when they're pregnant at 6 weeks are people trying to get pregnant. And those people are not going to fucking get abortions. They're literally trying to get pregnant.
One, it doesn't provide that. That said, however, let's make something very clear. Rape is a crime. And Texas will work tirelessly to make sure that we eliminate all rapists from the streets of Texas by aggressively going out and arresting them and prosecuting them and getting them off the streets.
What? What is he going to minority report rapists, dude? Like, I don't understand. What are you going to fucking do pre-crime on rapists, dude? Also, doesn't this kind of imply that, like, because rape is already happening, like, leading up to this situation, doesn't this kind of imply that they weren't prosecuting and criminalizing rape before? Wow, bold take from Governor Greg Abbott, who now made rape illegal. Up until now, rape was not illegal. It was legal in Texas, and now it's illegal. Brave. So his response to what will happen to people that want to abort, want to get an abortion when they're victims of rape is, oh, we'll just stop rape, dude. Don't worry. Got it. Incredible stuff. Congratulations to Mexico, by the way, for decriminalizing abortion. That's pretty cool. Charles Payne says the U.S. economy is a dangerous place. I'm going to skip that. Biden drops in approval ratings after
President
Afghanistan
Biden
withdrawal.
is heading to New York and New Jersey today to survey the
This
damage
guy kind of looks like Randy Rainbows, dude.
from Ida. As the administration faces a variety of challenges, and some Americans are losing confidence, according to a new ABC News poll. Our chief White House correspondent Cecilia Vega joins us now. And Cecilia, this comes as pandemic unemployment benefits run out for millions.
Yeah, Whit, good morning. And this is a really big deal because it's going to impact a lot of folks. These are benefits that have actually been in place for about 1.5 years now as part of this COVID recovery plan. And there's been a lot of debate here at the White House. But even with that debate, they decided not to extend these benefits. They're hoping other states around the country really pick up some of the slack here, repurpose other COVID funding. But there is no indication at this point that states are going to do this. So let me jump right in and show you who we're talking about that's going to be affected here. More than 7.5 million Americans at this point are going to lose these benefits. We're talking about gig workers, self-employed folks, and 3 million more folks are going to lose an additional $300 in federal unemployment aid. You know this, Republicans have been arguing that benefits like this are keeping folks at home, stopping them perhaps from seeking out jobs. There have been several studies recently that have found that that's not necessarily overwhelmingly the case, that that these unemployment benefits just play a small role in the job shortages we've seen. But really, what Democrats are concerned that given the tough economic times that we're in right now, an abrupt cut of money like this could really hurt real folks around this country.
And Cecilia, all of this happening as a new ABC News poll shows that President Biden is really taking a hit in his approval rating on a number of issues.
Yeah, and in fact, only 2 presidents in modern history have had lower approval ratings at this stage of the game. Take a look. You see it right there. 44% approve of the job he's doing, 51% disapprove. 2 big factors in this. COVID, his handling of COVID is certainly playing into that. 52% of those polled approve of his handling of that. And Afghanistan, you know that, his pullout of the troops in that country right there. 60% disapprove of how he handled that situation.
That's so much at stake.
It's so disingenuous to just like drop this number without mentioning that 70% of the country approve of withdrawing from Afghanistan. Like 70% of the country approve on withdrawing from Afghanistan, okay? But of course, because the media has been like fucking hammering the whole like the media first was like, you shouldn't leave, you shouldn't leave, you shouldn't leave, you shouldn't leave, you shouldn't leave because, you know, what about the Afghan women? And everybody was like, nobody gives a fuck about the Afghan women, let's be real. Because they don't. And also, that implies that, like, the American military cared about the Afghan women when they definitely didn't. Shut the fuck up. So then they moved on to, like, well, what about the fucking, you know, what about the weapons that we left behind? Like, it's just the way you pulled out that was bad. Okay? And they manufactured that consent. This shit doesn't mean anything. Like, it doesn't mean anything. There was no instance where you end a 20-year-long occupation, a violent, bloody, brutal occupation, in a positive way. There's just no way. It was never going to be roses and kisses.
So let's go through Biden versus Trump on Afghanistan here. This is something that's been going on for a while, but the media has just moved on as though it's normal. And I want to hear from you guys if you ever actually bought this, if you understood, and if you were able to articulate. This is something that I think a lot of people need to be able to do, is articulate the difference between a good withdrawal and a disastrous withdrawal. Yeah. No one here has a problem with withdrawing from Afghanistan. Nope. No. And certainly when you look at, there's a case to be made when people say Second Amendment, you're going to fight off your government with guns. 70,000 something Taliban over, I think it was 400,000 Afghan members, and they were fleeing.
It's 75 to 350,000.
And there's a big part of me that says, look, if they're not willing to fight for their own country, we shouldn't be sending Americans to die to fight for them. The people who did help us, who we had agreements with, of course we need to take care of those people who put their ass on the line, but not the people fleeing buildings telling the Taliban, like, it's not, they never touched it. So this is the narrative that Biden has been setting. I've never heard a president accept less responsibility, aside from maybe Barack Obama, trying to blame it numerous times on Trump. I think we have a montage. Yeah.
My predecessor, the former president, signed an agreement with the Taliban to remove U.S. troops by May the 1st, just months after I was inaugurated. It included no requirement that Taliban work out a cooperative governing arrangement with the Afghan government. But it did authorize the release of 5,000 prisoners last year.
We'll get to that.
Including some of the Taliban's top war commanders, among those who just took control of Afghanistan. I inherited a diplomatic agreement duly negotiated between the government of the United States and the Taliban that all U.S. forces would be out of Afghanistan by May 1,
How much big league chew is in your mouth right now?
Just 3 months after my
He's a red
inauguration.
man guy.
That's what we inherited, that commitment.
You are fake news.
It's perhaps not what I would have negotiated myself, but it was an agreement made by the United States government, and that means something.
Not with you. So first off, this is something that matters is, okay, if you want to blame Donald Trump, again, very, very different policies. Yeah. However, that doesn't hold water. There are plenty of Donald Trump's policies, executive orders, initiatives that Biden immediately undid. What was it? We had the Mexico City policy, the Keystone XL pipeline, the 1776 Commission. In other words, he came in and with just a flick of his pen undid all kinds.
I mean, he's doing all that while still simultaneously allowing Line 3 to continue. Okay. He's still deporting asylum seekers. He's still functionally utilizing the first country policy that Trump implemented. So there is that. Joe Biden is like still continuing, ironically, also what Trump did with the Afghanistan withdrawal. It's wonderful when conservatives are crying about Joe Biden withdrawing from Afghanistan, Because it's Trump's plan. Trump did this. I give credit where credit is due. Trump deserves credit for starting this negotiations process. That's it. I thought it was smart when I thought it was brave and smart when Donald Trump wanted to do it. I still think it's smart and brave when Joe Biden facilitated it and executed it. I don't know.
Kinds of Trump policies. He didn't with Afghanistan until a rushed 1/2, give or take a few hours, withdrawal. So right off the bat, you
1/2 hour withdrawal.
have to expect.
I can't believe Joe Biden evacuated 114,000 people in a matter of 2 hours. That's kind of remarkable when you think about it.
So you have to accept some responsibility. So let's get down to this, though. What it comes down to is, what did Trump want to do with Afghanistan, and what has Biden done? Okay, first off, here's the beauty of this. You can read Trump's withdrawal deal.
Yep.
It's not that hard to find. It's available on the State Department website at state.gov. And of course, for people who are watching, we always provide all of our references.
I love this because he's saying, like, with the commitment and action to obligations of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, which is not recognized by the United States as a state, and is known as the Taliban, in Part 2 of this agreement, the United States, its allies, and the coalition will execute the following. So you can't say that they did not facilitate this deal with the Taliban when Trump is the one who literally pulled out, like Trump's administration is the one who pulled out Mullah Barabar out of a Pakistani prison and flew him around to like negotiate with him directly. And the original like Afghan puppet government that we installed was supposed to be a part of those agreements. And the Taliban were like, no, absolutely not. It's Baradar, not Barabar. Sorry, Baradar. And the Taliban were like, no. And the Trump administration was like, okay, fuck them.
.gov. And of course, for people who are watching, we always provide all of our references. You go to louderwithcrowder.com. I think we have the link in description of every video.
Description.
There's usually like 40 to 60 any given day.
Yesterday,
it's all publicly available just to make... Why? Because we want to do the job that Poppy Harlow won't. The timeline from Donald Trump was set over 9.5 months.
Yeah.
Withdrawal to be complete as opposed to Joe Biden, who suddenly withdrew really over a couple of weeks. And here's one thing, too. Before I get into the technicalities,
Wait, 9.5 months starting when? 9.5 months starting when? Starting January 20th? No. Didn't start at the inauguration. Started back when that deal was executed. That's so fucking stupid. Is he implying that there was 9.5 months into the presidency to fucking facilitate this deal? No. That's 9.5 months starting in 2020, dumbass. So basically what he's saying is Trump fucked up in the first like multiple months that happened to be the last months of his presidency.
If there is anyone out there who does not understand the difference between, protecting all of our citizens, ambassadors, allies, getting them out first.
Dude, these guys are so mad that not more people died. Like, you know they're so fucking bitter that only like 13 Marines died. Like, that's not enough for them to like be able to fucking, drum up enough support. Because ultimately that is the reality, by the way. That's not my take. Yep. That's the regular take of the American individuals that even want to pay attention to politics. No one fucking cares about the soldiers. They don't. If they cared about the fucking soldiers, they would have evacuated from Afghanistan many years ago. Okay? They would have never gotten into Afghanistan. So don't give me that bullshit. And they're just butthurt that only 13 Marines died and not more, so they can't fucking drum up enough support to stay in there. If you cared about 13 Marines dying, like, you would probably care a little bit more about like the veterans that are dying in the American streets right now. A veteran commits suicide every fucking 22 minutes. Like, I don't give a fuck about people, dude. Get the fuck out of here. These people don't give a fuck about their own bodies, dude. They don't take the vaccine. They're so blinded by ideology that they're like, I'm willing to fucking die to own the libs. That's crazy. That like any of these fucking monsters would act like they give a single fuck about soldiers. If you search the word homeless on any conservative's Twitter profile, you'll always just see it alternate between them invoking homeless vets as a reason why we shouldn't help refugees and them calling homeless people disgusting subhumans who the police need to brutalize. Yep. California Assembly voted 44-11 in favor of a bill that broadens state Medicaid coverage to include illegal immigrants. Wouldn't it be better to help homeless veterans first? It should be illegal to provide anything to the homeless. Disincentivize people from letting them fuck up your neighborhood. Always. It's always the case. Because they do not give a fuck about the homeless veterans. They do not give a fuck about the homeless in general. They think that they are subhuman. Also, what I find additionally hilarious about Ian Miles Chong is that, like, is there like a big homelessness problem in Malaysia? I don't know. But what I do know is Ian Miles Chong has never stepped foot inside of U.S. borders and lives in Malaysia. Is he talking about the Malaysian homeless veterans? That's so strange. Kind of strange to me. Anyway, let's keep going.
First, then our troops who've protected our citizens and allies leave and destroy, level all of our military equipment before we leave, versus withdrawing our military to leave people to fend for themselves. If you don't understand that difference, you're an idiot. Or
is that what happened? Are there like Americans in the fucking streets of Kabul that are like defending themselves against the Taliban? Against what, dude? Is that what's going on right now? Like, what I don't understand is, first of all, are you unfamiliar with how this evacuations process works? A lot of that military equipment is destroyed. Okay? It's destroyed in the process. So that's one. Two, is this is significantly more expensive. It's already paid for, so much more expensive to like ship back all that old ass shit. Okay? Two, what's going on? Are the Taliban just fucking like murdering Americans out there? And if your answer is no, they're not murdering Americans, but they're murdering the Afghan interpreters, then so you're advocating to bring every single person that wants to come into the United States from Afghanistan, which is the right thing to do and the morally correct thing to do. Oh, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. Everyone shut the fuck up. Yeah, bring them all here. I don't give a fuck.
Or you're being disingenuous. For crying out loud, just play a Call of Duty game or watch any action film. The last guy to get on the chopper is the guy with the gun who sits on the edge. You do not withdraw military before other people, especially when you know that they're going to be overrun by the Taliban. Anyone who says they don't understand that fundamental difference is
so funny because like Michael Moore had a, I guess now very prescient take on this. Like the general that was leaving Afghanistan was the last person off Afghan soil that was like a United States military member, and he wasn't even looking behind. That's how confident he was that, you know, the Taliban were not going to shoot him. So what's up? Where are these Americans that are being murdered, dude? I don't understand it. And also, why didn't they fucking leave? They knew the withdrawal was coming. Like, why didn't they fucking leave, dude?
Is not being honest. And I'll go through some other differences. That's the only one that matters. He does mention, they go, oh, Donald Trump released 5,000 prisoners. By the way, that's true. It's called a prisoner exchange. It happens all the time. Yeah. Donald Trump released 5,000 prisoners in exchange.
Dude, okay. Bro, come on, dude. When Obama fucking did that shit, you lose your mind. Like, oh my God, dude. Oh, dude, come on. Let's find what happened. There's got to be something for this, right? Let's see. Yo, let's Google Bo Bergdahl exchange Steven Crowder. Oh God, I'm not even going to show you this. This is just like transphobic and shitting on for no fucking reason. Chelsea Manning. Okay. I'm sure he made videos on him. What the fuck? Dude, I Googled Bo Bergdahl exchange Steven Crowder, and the first thing that came up is a video titled "In Defense of Guantanamo Bay and Enhanced Interrogation Techniques." Wonderful. Today we learned that the Gitmo prisoner traded for Bergdahl is now reaching back out to the Taliban. Surprise, Guantanamo Bay is not only a decent prison for terrorists, it's the perfect prison. My producer literally shot this, by the way. One of my podcast producers went with Steven Crowder back when he used to work at PJ Media or whatever, and he went to Guantanamo Bay when they like snuck to Guantanamo Bay.
Brandon and Travis.
I'm Shelly Waterman. I'm here with my husband who is a Marine.
Isn't this fucking crazy? Like, this is literally like a prison island that we have on like not on U.S. soil, and it's just basically a little tiny like America.
With McSIFCO, Marine Corps Security Forces.
All of that applies to me, except my name is Jackie Saloy.
I'm an MA, and you know what I'm saying, I just walk around, make sure the street's safe, forget more.
I'm with Marine Corps Security Forces.
I work at the hospital. I'm a surgical tech.
Second Lieutenant, Army.
Captain, Air Force.
Air Force.
Okay. Let's get back to the fucking video.
Exchange for 1,000 prisoners. This is something that people know, as well as a provision for historic peace deal. Something important that people need to know about Donald Trump. The second the Taliban attacked one American, I believe they killed one American, deal was off the table. There were no talks for 2 weeks. Remember when Donald Trump went to North Korea? He crossed over that national border line. People freaked out. He went over and spoke with Kim Jong-un and said a bunch of nice things, right? Then the second he understood that Kim Jong-un had no interest in denuclearizing, he just left and took a big shit on him all over Twitter. That was it. It was...
Oh, sick, dude. He fucking shitted on him like he was real nice, like a pussy to his face. And then he just fucking shitted on him on Twitter. Like, you're such a fucking idiot, dude. Wow. Wow, I can't believe Kim Jong-un got dunked on, dude, all over Twitter by fucking boss man. Wow. Much poggers, dude. That's so sick.
It's over. Donald Trump's policy has always been to buy peace. We know that. You may not agree with that. It's been to attempt to purchase peace while holding a big stick in the other hand.
Yeah.
So this was a prisoner exchange that's been going on forever.
The big stick on his other hand is literally what? Tweeting about him? Me when I wear the worst fit of all time? Oh my God, dude. Give it a fucking break. Let's keep going.
Ever. Do you know how I know? Obama did it many times. Do you guys remember the when he released 3 high-ranking officials for American traitor Bergdahl, who, by the way, I don't know if actual death for treason is a thing, but that guy would fit the criteria for sure. In that prisoner swap, he released the now commander of the Taliban. I want to make sure I get this name right. Karawaka.
What? Yeah, perfect.
Also making an appearance on Sesame Street.
Waka waka.
This is something too, idiots. Look, it was a prisoner exchange, and that was basically free leverage. Because think about this for a second. If we're withdrawing, those prisoners are going to be freed by the Taliban anyway. Exactly. So it's saying, let's get at least 1,000 of our prisoners out at this point, because they're going to be free. You see what happens?
Dude, if the only fucking example you can use is people do prisoner swaps all the time, look when Obama released 3 prisoners as opposed to 5,000. You're not making as solid of an argument. But also, you don't need to make that argument. Like, we gave the country to the Taliban, okay? It's the worst possible outcome that you could arrive at, but it's the only outcome after 20 years of steady fighting, with the Taliban winning the fucking war of attrition, no matter what. Donald Trump, unironically responsible for the art of the deal, turned around and did one of the worst deals of all time. I give you Afghanistan, I release your prisoners, I get nothing in return. You just don't fucking riddle me with the bullets when I'm running away. Believe me. Okay? That's just the deal. That was literally the deal. There's no our prisoners there. And to be fair, like, that was the only fucking deal you could put together, most likely. That meant evacuation and also stability post-evacuation. There was no fucking way that the Afghan government was going to be able to put out a fight against the Taliban, dude. And it was never happening. And the American intelligence community recognized that reality, which is why they gave Afghanistan to the Taliban.
Happens now. It's not like you can stop the Taliban.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of a war, in any situation, you always let prisoners go in exchange for your people back. That's how you do this. Donald Trump was methodically walking towards a much more planned exit strategy.
But you don't release 3 top-ranking officials for Bo Bergdahl.
You're like, oh, you got who do you have? We have Bo Bergdahl.
Well, that's bro. He's literally crying about 3 prisoners that were he can't stop being partisan, dude. He set the Bo Bergdahl thing up as an argument to be like, see, everyone does it. It's normal. And now he's still shitting on fucking Obama for releasing 3 while defending releasing 5,000. Why can't he just be consistent? I guess, well, you don't need to be consistent.
4,000 mouths we don't have to feed. 4,000, you know, we save a lot of hummus money.
If Bo's on the other side of the table and you want your leadership back, I'm like, I think you should keep him for a while. Maybe he needs to be over there for a little bit.
Look, I've been very open on the show about my...
Yeah, by the way, he's talking about leadership being released, and Mike from PA is right. Mullah Baradar is the highest ranking Taliban leader. Trump not only fucking released him from the Pakistani prison he was in, but also clipped and shipped his ass to negotiate with Mike Pompeo in a fucking deal where they sidelined the Afghan government. Mike from Project
my political leanings, and as the resident moderate in this studio, I wanted to bring on a liberal guest to kind of explain why he thinks Biden's, choice was the right one. So maybe we can get another perspective.
It's helpful.
Do we have
him recorded?
It looks like we got him in.
We have him here.
There he is.
Who is this, Dave?
Hello, guys.
I forget, what is your name?
Oh, my name is Jeff from Portland.
Jeff from Portland.
Bro, how are they worse? Like, they're just, oh God, they are devolving, dude. They're just like, I can't do this. I can't watch this bit. I'll die. I'll literally fucking die. I will not put you through this. We're skipping. It's like, sent the real Guantanamo timestamps Discord too instead of spamming. No, I don't care. I don't want to watch it anyway. Sorry, RTBA. Yeah, the Taliban are unironically funnier than Steven Crowder, dude. You know?
President Biden will travel to New York and New Jersey today to see Ida's aftermath firsthand. It's the deadliest hurricane to hit the U.S. in 4 years. 69 people were killed, most by extreme flooding in the Northeast. Molalanghi has been speaking to families in the Manville, New Jersey.
Damn, this dude looks like he's about to fucking post up. Doesn't he look like he's about to fight, dude? He's literally stanced up. Like, he's like, yeah. He's ready. He's ready for those fucking hurricane truthers. You know what I mean? He's like, watch out.
In the Northeast, Molalanghi has been speaking to families in the Manville, New Jersey area, one of the stops on Mr. Biden's tour. Mola, good morning.
Well, good morning, Nate. What the president will see on his tour today is everything from vehicles that were tossed around by this deadly storm to businesses that were damaged to homes destroyed, completely destroyed by the deadly storm. Governor Phil Murphy tells us that scenes like this only highlight the desperate need for infrastructure repair.
What the fuck is this?
The entire house underwater and the other house burning, it's seeing everything. It's just heartbreaking.
That's Jason and Jonathan Murata's house. Now, a charred stove is about the only thing recognizable in the rubble.
Dude, we already watched this, dude. Stop sending me fucking clips we've watched already, dude. We've watched the MAGA one with Walter Masters.
Jersey home.
Big boom. Roof exploded.
You heard and saw it at that time?
Yeah, we saw it blow up. We were just talking about how the house is salvageable. We can try to get some stuff from the second, maybe first floor, and maybe few minutes later after we say that, see the roof blow off.
The deadly storm that first hit Louisiana as a Category 4 hurricane is linked to more than 60 deaths and damages up to $95 billion. Now, New Jersey's Democratic leaders are calling on Congress to pass a pending infrastructure bill that would provide funds to help communities become more resilient to disasters and severe weather. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy.
These storms are now more frequent. They're more intense. We desperately need that climate resiliency infrastructure. But we're the most densely populated state in the nation with a location second to none, but very exposed to the impacts of climate change.
Amy Chester is managing director at Rebuild by Design, a nonprofit focused on climate resiliency. She says updated infrastructure is critical to saving lives.
Either we throw a massive amount of money at the problem and build the infrastructure that we need to withstand the future, or we move out of harm's way.
Anita Menti wants to be optimistic that change is coming, but she is exhausted after living through 3 major floods here in Manville.
We don't have much hope because every time we have been promised that we're going to have help, that something's going to happen to prevent us from being flooded, but nothing is being done.
That's Anita Menti, of course, expressing her frustration, her exhaustion, she says, with almost 30 years worth of broken infrastructure promises, as she describes it. Remember, this is the 3rd time she's picking up the pieces to her home. Insurance experts say that the claims from this storm could top $18 billion, Gail.
Jesus Christ. California recall, folks.
Yeah, Chris, well, I'll take you through here again. Just the backdrop here in California. I think we all know an extremely Democratic state. In 2018, when Gavin Newsom was elected governor, here were the results. This was a 24-point victory for Gavin Newsom over his Republican opponent then in the 2020 presidential election.
Holy shit. Dude, you got to remember, dude. 4.7 million Republicans, dude. Look at how fucking red California is. It's like California has more Republicans than like 4 fucking Republican states combined. Absolutely cumstered, by the way, but still.
Joe Biden beat Donald Trump in California by 29 points. You got to go back all the way to 1988 to find a Republican presidential candidate who won California. That was Bush Sr. in 88, or who even came within 10 points in California. So that's how blue California is. That's the backdrop for this. Now, the polling in the early part of this summer, mid part of the summer, was suggesting this was a very competitive recall election. However, the more recent polling in the last week or so has started to trend back in the other direction. Remember, it's keep or remove. That's what folks are voting on here in this recall election. And you see that keep number. You see a bunch of double-digit for keep poll results that have come in here last week or so. If you average together everything that's out there right now in this polling, keep Gavin Newsom, don't recall Gavin Newsom, right now leads on average by 11 points. That's a pretty significant jump from, I'd say, about 2 weeks ago, Chris. So a solid lead here for Newsom's side for keeping Newsom. If you look back, California actually 18 years ago, it had a governor who was recalled, Gray Davis, at this same point, a week out from Gray Davis's recall election back in 2003. It was double-digit remove in the polling, and Gray Davis was in fact removed. So now it's double-digit for keep in this polling. But again, there is a week to go. We will see what happens here. The world, as we know, is full of surprises. If Newsom were to be recalled in this election next week, simultaneously, voters are also voting on a giant list of candidates to replace Newsom. Whoever gets the most votes from the giant list would become the governor immediately. This is the polling average right now. These are not.
Dude, this is so fucked. It's so insanely fucked. Like,
not all of the candidates. These are some of the candidates, but the headline here is Larry Elder, who is a conservative commentator. He leads the way right now in this very crowded field here in the replacement race. If it ever came to it, if Gavin Newsom did get recalled next week, Larry Elder looks to be the front runner in that race to replace him, Chris.
Not good, dude. Ozan, how do you pronounce hello, thank you, and goodbye in Turkish? This motherfucker made me do this. I don't know what he's doing. Merhaba. Merhaba. Okay. Teşekkürler. And bye-bye. Ya da eyvallah. Eyvallah. I guess. But we say bye-bye. Görüşürüz. See you later. Means görüşürüz.